What?
Let's go!
This show fucking stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
AJ, you never cease to amaze me with your toxicity, pal.
You got a couple of these?
God damn it!
What the fuck are you doing?
Fuck Boston
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this feel-good Friday, heading into the 4th of July long-ass weekend, 2000, Sports Week starts out.
Feel good!
Friday, it's a big weekend.
It is a big weekend.
It is a massive weekend. We will be, oh no, that's way too early for that to be happening.
Pollen count high.
Pollen count is high. The AQI is low. The rain helped us out. But today feels to be a day where the vocal cords are getting attacked on a regular basis. It is fantastic to look ahead here. We'll be off Monday and Tuesday. We do apologize, but 4th of July is a time, especially in the summer when there isn't a lot of sun in a state like Indiana. You might as well take it, enjoy it. Think back to what it was like, what it could be like, where we are now, how much better we can get, and how great it is to be in this particular country. I mean, there's a lot of time to do some reflection, some inflection, maybe some injecting of booze or two. And we hope everybody has a fantastic weekend. Last night, the NFL beat the shit out of the NBA. So, racist Kendrick Perkins will come on at 1:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we will have to give some shots to the shins because that NBA team was minus 260 yesterday. And then they just got swept by Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, who did some Mahomes-Kelce shit on a golf course. Once they get rolling, in chirping, in dancing, and Travis Kelce was wearing those really cool shorts.
Yeah.
Sweet. So cool.
Yeah.
He looked so cool.
Yes, he did.
I didn't even know those were available from Nike. He said he was Nike from head to toe. He's a Nike athlete. GQ said, this guy looks good. I thought to myself, he looks unbelievable. Now, I don't think everybody should be wearing those, but Travis Kelce is a fucking dog.
Oh, yeah.
We knew Patrick Mahomes was going to be Patrick Mahomes, burying putts, putting things close. But Travis Kelce, I don't think anybody expected to be the stick that he was yesterday. We're talking closest to the pin with Steph Curry, who's a +1 handicap in golf involved. He was stroking 3 irons.
Soft hands.
Stroking chips. Travis Kelce was the star of the program yesterday, and we want to let Travis know we appreciate him being a part of it. I'm not going to say that Patrick Mahomes wasn't electrifying. He was.
Absolutely.
I fucking love that the next face of the NFL is a guy who has personality, is not scared to be himself, and is an incredibly confident human being, which I would assume the next face of the NFL was going to be regardless, but he's the fucking perfect one for us. He is the man. Just big, he missed a couple short putts that at the end he said, I just like to make good TV. He said, you're never going to see me blow anybody out. It's always going to be close games. Got to do it. It's how I operate. And I do believe the way he operates is the same exact way that people have talked about Tom Brady, Kobe Bryant, the Mamba mentality, obviously rest in peace. I believe that is why in those close ones, when you really need it, when the moment is at its biggest, this dude seemingly is at his best.
Oh, yeah.
And I fucking love that we beat the shit out of the NBA. And I say we because I got to ride coattails into the NFL for 8 years. And anytime you start seeing a little NFL versus NBA, you always want to be on the winning side. I would like to say, in the NFL versus NBA golf tournament that I was a part of.
That's right.
How'd that go?
We also beat them.
Oh, that's right.
So I would just like to let the NBA know, yesterday was an embarrassment for you guys.
Big time.
That wasn't supposed to happen.
No.
And I know there's momentum in basketball, and Steph Curry and Klay have certainly shown that on the basketball court. But once that momentum went into the NFL meatheads way, it was never coming back.
No.
We're talking about little leaky Travis Kelce talking to Steph Curry off the drive. I mean, there was real shit talk taking place. And it felt like the NFL guys broke them.
Oh, yeah. It did.
Absolutely broke them. Now, I am incredibly impressed with Steph Curry, the person.
Yes.
Steph Curry, the basketball player.
Of course.
And also golfer. I saw him chip in literally at Edgewood or whatever, and I appreciate him and everything he's about. And Klay Thompson, I know at one time he was part of the Splash Brothers, was just knocking down threes. Massive piece to the 4 rings, I believe, that he has that he is I did not know he had his own shoes, his own polo.
Yeah.
He has all his own gear.
Great style.
I had no idea that was the case. Now, his golf game yesterday wasn't at his best, and obviously I could potentially play much worse than Klay Thompson played yesterday, so I'm not going to judge that. But are we staring Dahn 15, 20 years from now. Another Scottie Pippen Jordan situation here with Klay Thompson and Steph Curry.
Uh-oh.
Are we doing that?
That would be wild.
Did you hear Draymond?
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear what Draymond was saying?
Draymond he was loud.
And Steph Curry was like, yeah, you're just getting a look into what our locker room is.
Yeah.
So Klay Thompson, just, incredible basketball player in his own right.
Yep. So good.
And what he's good at, just so happened to have the greatest guy to ever exist in the same exact, and then he has a whole shoe line and everything. I had no idea he had that. You know why? Because I believe Steph Curry has all those.
That's right.
I had the Nurse Currys, the first ones that came out. I mean, I've supported that guy in what he has for his whole time. 15, 20 years, are we worried about that? Or is Klay Thompson just an incredibly cool guy? I think that is the conversation we will have to have with Big Perk. I was incredibly impressed with the NFL guys, as I'm impressed with the guys I get to share the stage with every day. The Talk to Table is here at Ty Schmidt and at Boston Connor, and at Boston Connor's mullet, obviously, looking fantastic. Getting real dialed in on how you make that thing look majestic, pal.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate you showing me the ropes with the blow jar, because that really has changed the game. The down, up, I think is kind of the style I've been able to adapt to. And, you get a couple creams, you get some, hairspray, you get moisturizer. And now, I condition a little more. Usually I was told, hey, only once a week. Now I'm doing twice, 3 times a week, just because I'd like it to look like I wash it all the time.
Yeah, those professional wrestlers, they put it in every night.
Bingo. Yeah, like before they go out. I thought about doing that today, but the products themselves, I think, have been doing a great job.
I want to let you know, you look fantastic. We're very proud of you.
Thank you.
And going into a long 4th of July weekend with that mullet, I mean, happy birthday, America, and that mullet.
Yes, absolutely. Summer solstice, it'll always kick off the kind of 2-week mullet run. I think every year now, I got to go to Nashville. And then right after that, I got to do July 4th with an American bathing suit. That's just how it happens.
So when the last 2 bachelor parties we were a part of, I think both times we've decided that it's going to be an annual. All right, so next year we're going to have Nikki's bachelor party 2.
Yes.
And in the same group, we're going to do a trip. And next year we're going to do Zito's bachelor party 2.
2, yes.
I do fear that anytime we do anything at this stage of life, we're going to have a real good time.
Oh, yeah.
And we're just going to want to repeat it all.
Mm-hmm. That's where we're at.
I don't know if it's going to be able to fit in the schedule, but we got to go to Nashville a lot more.
Yeah.
And I think that mullet needs to be seen in Nashville a lot more as well.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, Nashville really is one of one. I know a lot of you guys were comparing it to New Orleans, and I bet that is also unbelievable. But having a Nashville this close to Indy, I mean, we're kind of idiots and fools if we don't go every year, We don't want to look back in 20 years saying, hey, we lived right next to Nashville. We only went once.
I don't know how close it actually was, because the wife would have had to get on board with it and everybody else would. We almost took this show down to Nashville like 2 years ago.
Oh, shit.
3 years ago? Almost like, I'm going down to Nashville. Everybody seems to be down there.
Yeah.
It is a good time. And the weather, a little bit better than Indianapolis.
It is. And the winter.
It gets cold. Still gets cold.
For sure.
You still have the seasons. You're still chilly in the fall.
Yeah.
But it's not like brutal.
No, flash freeze.
Like it feels like, exactly.
Not getting there.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, it's a beautiful place. We will certainly have to get back. At one half of the hammer, Dahn, Cowboys Tone Diggs is here as well. And Tone, we'll start with you. Massive betting favorite the NBA guys were because of how good Steph Curry was. And in the way it was set up, Steph Curry could have just handled that on his back if he wanted to. The NFL guys just played so damn good. It was kind of a slow roll, though. There was a moment on the course where I think Travis and Pat were up 2. And maybe hole 4 or hole 3, and the odds were still the NBA were favorites.
Oh, yeah.
And Travis Kelce, looked at, he knows. Like Travis, it wasn't just like he was a part of the interaction. Like whenever they said, right now the favorites are still the NBA, and Travis was like, oh, really?
All right.
Travis, I think he's one of those,
love it.
Out of Cleveland.
Ohio guy.
Yeah, Ohio, fuck, he's got to do it all. That was weird to me because it felt very obvious, and maybe they know golf better than me. It felt very obvious. Once you see Mahomes and Kelce get going, they're probably not going to stop for the foreseeable future unless they get too drunk.
Sure.
And I don't think I've ever seen them too drunk.
No.
I've seen them pretty drunk, I think, out there. Both of them golfing in Tahoe, sticking. They're gamers. In the NBA, seemingly not. Did we make money off this last night, or what happened?
We had talked about it a little bit on Hammer Down, that in an amateur thing like this, if you were getting the +2 whatever that you were getting, and we were never going to lay the 300 with the NBA because that's just absurd. And I actually feel like I was lied to. Is Steph supposed to be a good golfer?
I was thinking about that. His wife was right there, and that whole thing was happening. But the amount of time that he has to take to golf to get to the point where he is, I thought about like all his family and friends being like, this guy's spending how much time in the, if he's not, like I'm watching him golf.
A +1?
His setup, his alignment, everything while he's standing over it and what we've heard about him golfing, I'm expecting every shot to be very good.
Yeah.
Like the expectation that he's not going to fuck up is a real one.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody else that stepped up to the ball did I feel that way. Nobody.
Nope.
Literally. There's a lot of four. But when Steph got in there, which is not fair to Steph either, he's not a fucking professional golfer. He's literally one of the greatest basketball players of all time. That probably takes up a lot of it. But just everything about him in the golf world, every time he stepped over the ball, I'm like, this guy's supposed to hit this thing good. And he looked like a human out there on that golf course,
and
didn't
then
he?
Mahomes and Kelsey's, like in that event, I think it's scrambling. Their scrambling was unbelievable. I think it was hole 1 and 2 or 2 and 3. Mahomes had that one chip that was onto the upper level and then rolled down to the next level at like to 2 feet when Clay and Steph were already on the green, and that happened like 2 holes in a row. And when they won those or pushed those, like I think that kind of broke the NBA's back early, and they didn't have the fucking spine to stay in there.
Well, Klay Thompson was just getting murdered. I mean, I couldn't hear and understand everything that Vaughn and Draymond were saying because they were just kind of having their own conversation in the back, and I appreciate that. But I think the things that I was hearing them say pretty hilarious.
Much different, too.
Much different than what was going on. Now, obviously, anytime Charles Barkley has a microphone, awesome. Anytime Broadcasting Hall of Fame inductee Ernie Johnson has a microphone, that is fucking awesome as well. But I think I think Vaughn, his energy, to your tweets point, Vaughn's energy was like, here we go, boys.
I want my guys just to do well.
Here we go, boys.
That's it.
Here we go. And then Draymond's was like, damn, bro.
Clay's not helping him out at all.
And I would like everybody, I enjoyed Draymond out there.
Me too.
Like, I enjoyed Draymond out there a lot. I enjoyed Vaughn out there a lot. But to your point, I think because Vaughn was not teammates with Travis and Patrick.
Yeah.
So he's not as close.
Much different.
I assume they are close. It's Von Miller. He's friends with seemingly everybody. And it's Patrick. Like, I assume they are close. But not,
every day.
Yeah. Draymond potentially on his way out.
Exactly. Yeah, he might. He kind of wants to go play with LeBron. People are saying he's visiting Portland with Dame Lillard. Whereas Von Miller, he's just a guy who's there to be Von.
Loves golf.
Loves golf. Loves football. Loves supporting the guys. I mean, every time he's come on here, he's only been positive. I've really never heard a negative word out of him aside from the Supergrass conversation, which makes sense. But also, did you see they caught Von? I don't know what he was smoking. But he was vaping something.
Yeah,
it was
CBD.
Awesome.
It was CBD.
Yeah. Exactly. That's why I didn't know.
It's coming off surgery.
Yeah.
That's actually probably his medicine. Nowadays, they have the ability to just put in medicine in. So it's like, hey, Vaughn, you're still coming off the ACL. Every 4 hours, need you to take these 2 pills. And he's like, no pills. Just put them in vape form.
That's right. Give me a vape.
So it was just, it was anti-inflammatory, I think, the first hit. And then he presses a button, and the next one's like an Advil.
Advil, yeah.
And he presses the button, the next one, and it's like
the Claritin.
Boom. It's like allergies crazy out here. You feel better. And your knees now, they're like, I mean, that's what he was smoking out there. But it did feel, the way Travis and Patrick were playing. And of course, like Bear out there.
Sweet.
I thought there was a chance maybe we're going to get a little boozed up out there.
Oh, yeah.
But I feel like Travis and Patrick were very pumped about how they were playing. Like, I think afterwards, they're like, how about us? Hey.
We crushed it.
Because there was a couple moments there where, to your point, the NBA could have turned it.
Yeah.
Steph Curry could have made a putt and could have turned it all. And then for whatever reason, it didn't. And then immediately after it not, you got Patrick Mahomes sprinting down the fairway and Travis Kelce, screaming about it. It was actually just like 2 very different mindsets out there that I fucking enjoyed watching us win, especially because, no, I'm not going to say it.
Well, might as well.
What's that?
Steph Curry's people canceled him on our show.
True.
That's right.
True.
They canceled him on our show yesterday. Supposed to be on the show yesterday. Now, completely fine. He was not on the show. But he was pitched to be on the show, which Steph Curry wants to be on the show.
That'd be unbelievable.
Awesome. Steph Curry probably didn't even know he was coming on the show.
No chance.
With the way everything operates, the way these things. Now that we're kind of learning the waters a little bit.
Yep.
Jesus. There is so much.
It's crazy.
To get to.
A lot of turbulent ties out
And
there.
I appreciate a lot of people that are like, keep everybody away from me. I don't want anybody's bullshit. I respect that.
Yeah.
And if you're going to be one of the, not just Steph in this particular case, greatest basketball players of all time, and be a +1 handicap in golf, which takes a good amount of time, I assume you don't want to deal with any extra bullshit in your life either. But the way some people are kind of like guarded by like 3-4 different layers.
Firewalls.
I did not know this took place.
Oh.
But they're pitching
Yeah.
And we're hell
Yeah, of course.
Sure.
Of course.
We're gonna have to ask about that Sports Illustrated thing though. Just let him.
Yep.
You know, 'cause
He's not going to avoid that.
we're bummed about that.
Right. He's prepared for it.
And then boom, they're like, yeah, he's no longer not happening.
Never mind.
What the fuck?
Okay.
Well, we know who we're pulling for, definitely. I mean, not that I wouldn't have pulled for the NFL last night.
Right.
Because everybody in here, I don't want to point fingers, but you
What's
guys said the NFL was going to get killed yesterday.
No.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Boom, pow,
Definitely not.
bang.
I was lied
Behind
to.
me?
I was lied
AJ,
to.
boom.
No.
Everybody.
Everyone told me Steph was a scratch golfer. He was +1. Well, okay.
I feel bad for Steph, man. He
Evidence.
just had a bad day. That's what happens in golf. And I bet he's fucking so mad right now that he performed like that last night. Because I do think he's good. You don't just say you're a +1 and you're not a +1. Like, that is such a good score. No, like,
people say they're
universally-
15 handicaps and they're not.
You know
see,
what?
that's what I think people do. I think people say they're 15s. They're actually like 27s. I don't know if you lie about being a +1.
Well, I think that's also one of the things that like they need to kind of change with the match. Like, I enjoyed it, watched the whole thing, and part of that was because there's nothing else on. But no disrespect to Klay Thompson whatsoever, but like if you are a +15 handicap, you need to be incredibly entertaining. Because if you're not, that's like what happens with him is like it's embarrassing. You're going out there, they're not using any of his shots. He's not playing well. Like he doesn't want to engage and like
He's not talking.
exactly.
No.
He doesn't want to be funny. He doesn't want to do like. And can you blame him? It's like, hey, you're on national TV playing golf. You're playing like shit. Like I don't blame you for not being all jovial and like you don't have an opportunity to talk shit. But I think that is where they kind of need to tweak it. Is you either need to have someone who is, if they're not that good of a golfer, they need to be like uberly funny or entertaining, or you need to get guys who are good. You can't have holes where on a par 3 everyone is missing the green. You don't have anyone close because like that I think is where people are kind of like, all right, what the hell am I watching?
Travis Kelce was the star of the show.
Yes,
for
he
sure.
was.
But even
Very happy that he was on there. But there was a couple holes where he was like either focusing on his golf or like and it was almost like just pitch quiet.
Yeah, silence.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I respect the intensity of this whole thing, but are we?
Well, and
they're
then-
not professional golfers though, too. So
and then they're trying to pot up like because like you get that kind of silence. So like the truck or like the production crew is trying to like pot up certain people's mics where there's like it's not really a conversation that's meant to be happening over the air. So you just get like multiple people talking. But like that's the thing is Kelce, I can't remember which hole it was. Like they were, they had like a tree right in front of them. They're over in the pine straw, and Kelce fucking rips one, like
green.
to 20 feet on the green. An incredible shot. And then he's super entertaining on top of it. But it's just like, I don't know. I mean, not that I was going to watch anything else, but it is just tough. Like if you get a guy, especially a professional athlete, who gets in that situation and they're not playing well, like they're not going to just like start busting balls and like be funny. It's like, hey, I'm fucking embarrassed. I don't want to do this anymore.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to stop talking about golf, although we will revisit it because it happened last night and the NFL beat the hell out of the NBA.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Speaking of the NFL, we are just
69 days.
away from the NFL season kicking off. To celebrate that, our number 69, ladies and gentlemen, 3-time Super Bowl champion from Alaska, calls games on Fox and does radio on 1043 The Fan, has some chili that's stinking good. Ladies and gentlemen, the legend, Mark Schlereth. How are you, boss?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Hey, 69 days away from the NFL season. I know the number 69 is obviously one that you hold actually near and dear to your heart, right there on your chest. And it's a number that I think anytime somebody picks it, they automatically go, oh, nice. You do that whole thing. But when we get to 69 days until NFL football and we see your beautiful body on Connor's Twitter account, we know we're right around the corner, Stink. Let's go.
Right.
Right around the corner.
Come on.
Absolutely. I am ready, man. I have been grinding and studying and just getting prepared, just getting prepared for the season. I'm so excited about it. Actually, I didn't pick 69. I was actually number 50 when I went to my first training camp, and I was 50 all through training camp. And then I show up to the Hall of Fame game in Canton, Ohio. It was the first game I ever played in. We're playing the Buffalo Bills, and I get to my locker, and they've got 69 in there. And so I'm like, I guess, when you're a 10th rounder out of Idaho, you just take whatever they give you. You just go, like, I'm good.
I got
so
it.
I throw the 69 jersey on. But here's the great part of this, just the kind of your your process or the way you kind of grow as a football player, and so my parents flew down from Alaska to watch me in the Hall of Fame game. And, I get in there and I'm a backup center to Jeff Bostic at the time when I got drafted. And so I play in the Hall of Fame game. I play really well. I say goodbye to my parents. And anyhow, my career starts and I ended up, playing as a rookie and starting as a rookie. And
no big deal.
Playing for 12 years. And my career is essentially over. And my mom and dad and I, this couple of years ago, were just kind of reminiscing about it. And then they admitted to me the only reason they came down to Canton, Ohio to watch me in the Hall of Fame game is they just assumed it was the only game I would ever play in.
Oh.
That was they're like, we didn't think you were going to make it. If we're totally honest with you, we just didn't think it was going to happen for you. But anyhow, so that's how I ended up getting 69. So I didn't actually choose it. It was just assigned to me, and I was not at a point to argue with anything that they did for me.
Well, from a 469 to a 12-year, 3-time Super Bowl champion. Yep. I mean, what a dog.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Absolute dog. Let's talk about the NFL coming up. Our reigning Super Bowl champions, obviously in the AFC West over there in Denver, you all know so well. Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes just destroyed the NBA last. Just absolutely mopped the course with these NBA champions. And I think what we saw there was what the NFL has seen over the last few years. Like Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, for whatever reason, when they get going, it just seems like an unstoppable force. They're not running the routes that are on the plays. They're not doing anything. Nobody else has a clue what the fuck they're doing, but they're winning the biggest games in the biggest moments. Is this the greatest duo in the NFL right now? We have to, right? That has to be a conversation?
Yeah, you would have to think. And you think about when you game plan for a team. And the first thing you're going to do is you're going to say, okay, how are we going to stop Travis Kelce? How are we going to stop this connection between Mahomes and Kelce? And you put all these game plans together. And at the end of the day, Travis Kelce always has, 8-9 catches for 113 yards. And you're like, well, that plan didn't work. It's so they do have this connection, almost like they went to Hogwarts together, right? They've got this mind meld connection where they just they can just change a route. They can just look at each other. And it's always a fun thing. Like as an offensive lineman, you always have these guys that you connect with, and I can't be good unless we're collectively good, right? That's how offensive line works. And there's oftentimes you just walk up and it's not even communicating, it's not even words. It's just like, hey, you see that? You see it? Yeah, I see it. And you're just so on the same page with what the defense is trying to do, what we're going to do as an offense. And that's those two guys. They just have this connection it's brilliant. It's a brilliant connection. And, as much as I hate to give them credit because, they are the Chiefs and I hate everybody else in the AFC West. I got to give them a ton of respect. They are just awesome. They're great.
And they seem to be dudes too.
Yeah.
Which I appreciate. Patrick Mahomes is drinking a beer out there.
What?
Travis Kelce obviously doing the same thing. They're talking shit. They're living life. Like Joe Burrow, same exact thing. I feel like this next generation, Kenny Pickett even, he's been, I think, at every country concert with his offensive line, drinking everything. It's almost like an old school mentality that is kind of coming in with his new age guys. I think we're in a great spot. How about a great spot in Denver? Connor has a question for you.
Yeah, Sting, one of my favorite things you do on your social media is Man 101. And obviously last year for the Broncos didn't go exactly how they thought it was going to go when they got Russell Wilson from Seattle. But if you're to combine those two, if you had to give a Man 101 to Russell Wilson before this year to kind of get him ready, what would you tell him, and what do you think that he's got to work on as the Broncos try and get back to the Peyton Manning Super Bowl?
Well, I've said this a bunch about Russell Wilson is be real. Like the inauthentic nature sometimes. I call it toxic positivity. like you're getting the shit beat out of you, and you're like, oh, we just got to keep believing, And no, you don't. No, you don't. Like I had the Broncos last year in a game, and there was an article written here in Denver in which Russ said, I've got to play better. Okay, great. So I go into the meeting, and the first question I ask him is, hey, man, I referenced the article, and I said, so tell me what you have to play. What part of your game has to be better? What do you have to do better? And Russ thinks about it for a second. And he goes, well, we have to score more touchdowns. And I go, whoa. That's not what I asked you.
Excuse me.
You're not a French waiter. We. No, what do you have to do better? Right? I want to know because my life is like trying to avoid misery, right? Like as an offensive lineman, nothing good can happen to you. You could block a guy 65 plays in a row. You give up a sack, you're a piece of shit. He goes to the Pro Bowl. That's the way it works, right? So you always look at yourself very critically. And I was like, I don't want to know what we collectively. I want to know what you have to. And I kid you not, he couldn't answer the question. Oh man, he never gave me an answer. And it's just one of those things where like, dude, you have got to like. That's the kind of stuff that gets people where they don't. I don't want to say they don't respect you, but I've never seen Pat, I don't know about you. Hold on, what's it? I have never seen a dude get clowned like he got clowned across the league last year with the Let's Ride on planes, team planes, everything else. I mean, he got clowned by everybody. I've never seen that happen. Like that is a breaking of the ranks, right? And I've never seen anything like that happen. So the overall the overall tone deafness that he operates under on a consistent basis, if you don't change that, man, it's hard to get the respect of the guys that you play with and play against.
Yeah, self-awareness, powerful thing, and there's like, I don't want to say there's like a generation that seemingly either has too much of it, like super self-critical, or they have absolutely none of it, and they just kind of go and do whatever and have no thoughts of it. I think the thing that we've always said about Russ, and I'd like to get your take on this, it feels like, and you said it, the ingenuine, whatever the word is, how is that? What is
disingenuous?
Yes, there it is. There it is. That's a good. The disingenuine, it feels like he is doing what he thinks a movie character would do. Like the high knees on a plane. Like if you're writing a movie about the super good guy quarterback in the NFL, like that is something that you would do. To have shoulder pads in Monaco on a soccer field while you're throwing to like somebody that's obviously never touched a football before, like that's out of a movie, it feels like. The 5 body coaches that you're posting with the mask on, like that's out of a movie. The Let's Ride thing, out of a movie. It's like he's almost like too perfect, and I think he's trying to be. And it's like, just be a fucking human, I think is all how wearing your own jersey to training camp. Like that's out of a movie. Like that's not real life, and it's interesting. It's a very interesting saga.
It really is. And, I always say this about coaches that get hired for the first time, like X's and O's and all that stuff, I mean, all that stuff is important. But the bottom line is if you're inauthentic, if you're not authentic in who you are, then you're never going to have success. And I always talk about the Belichick tree. When you come in and you have coached under Belichick all those years, and he's earned that respect, and he's got a couple of players like Tom Brady all those years, where if you can, cuss out Tom Brady, then everybody is fair game on the roster, and Tom Brady loves to be coached hard and all that kind of stuff. Like you've got that street cred, if you will. You've built that up, and all of a sudden you leave. And you go and you get the opportunity, Matt Patricia, Joe Judge, Josh McDaniels, you get that opportunity to be a head coach, and all of a sudden you try to become mini Belichick, right? And you become Belichickian. Like I did a game against Detroit years ago, and Matthew Stafford's hurt at the time. They've got Blau as the backup quarterback, and he's smart and he knows what to do, but I would say that he does not have the requisite arm strength to be a real NFL starter. And it's like November or December, and it's raining and it's cold and it's nasty, and you're playing in a dome. You're going to play in a dome Sunday, right? And yet here we are the first week of December. We're going outside on a Friday to prove how tough we are.
Toughness,
dude, that doesn't prove anything. Like we can't complete a pass because it's blowing sideways. The rain's like, how does that help you as a football team? Like when everything you do on Friday, that doesn't do anything for your confidence. Everything you do on Friday is just an absolute shit show. Yeah. And like now let's go, right? I mean, it's stupidity, and you lose credibility with players because they look at you like that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, you got to win quick if you're going to do that. Got to win quick. If there's losing, Okay, so I'm doing all this shit and we're not winning? No way. You didn't win no Super Bowls, by the way, pal. Bill Belichick won those. Yeah. Like, that's how players immediately think. Remember back in Cleveland, who was it, Mangini, right?
Mangini.
Yeah.
I heard they were doing, I don't know if this has been, it was like Oklahoma drills, maybe in November, I think, on like a Wednesday morning, 6:30 a.m. or something like that. And that type of shit just lingers to the rest of the league. Like, I heard that by, I think, 8 a.m. I heard that there was Oklahoma drills happening at 6:30 in Cleveland, and it's like, well, he's got to make them tough. This is the Patriot way. It's like, you better win some fucking games. You got Oklahoma drills at Wednesday, and here in Indianapolis, we're like, never in a million years would we do that. It's interesting, man. It's very, very interesting how normally the people that are the best at the things are just themselves. And I think Russell Wilson was maybe like that at one point. Had a lot of success, and then I don't know what happened. But he can come back. We got faith. Let's go, Russ. Let's go, Russ. There's a new man in town that might help him. Ty has a question for you.
Yeah, speaking of coaching stink, last year before Russ came to Denver, you know, the narrative was kind of like, hey, Hackett gets here, and this roster is a quarterback away from going to the Super Bowl. And a lot of people thought, hey, maybe you put Aaron Rodgers in there and they're going to go. Well, that doesn't happen, whatever. Hackett gets fired. With that in mind, Sean Payton coming in, how much do you think he has, what will his impact be on their overall record if that is a Super Bowl roster? Like, do you think he's good enough to get them to 11 wins this year? And obviously how well Russ plays is a massive part of that. But how big of an impact do you think Sean Payton's going to have on this team?
I think he'll have an incredible impact on the team. Now, I don't know about 11 wins, but I think you're looking at, 8, 9, 10, somewhere in there. 11 just seems a little bit far-fetched. And, oftentimes, I hear people talk about, hey, on paper, this roster is really good. And I say this all the time. If the games were played on paper, I'd have spent a lot less time on an operating table. They're not. You got to have great football players. A lot of times people look at athletes. Football is easy for football players. It's hard for athletes. And you got to have athletic guys that are great football players. And so sometimes you can get enamored with athleticism, and that doesn't necessarily translate to great football players. But here's the thing about Sean. So even last year, I'm doing a game in New Orleans, and a guy that's been around the NFL for 30, everybody knows him, but he works for New Orleans. And he walks up to me. I'm standing, kind of taking mental notes on what they are in red zone and what they're doing. I'm watching practice. It's on a Friday. And he walks up to me and says, you know what our problem is? And I'm like, no, what's the problem? He goes, Sean Payton walked out of the building and the fear walked out with him. And I was like, wow, that's a poignant statement, because to me there's two types of fear. There's the biblical fear, which is like when you hear the fear of the Lord. That's not like, oh, gosh, the Lord's going to strike me down. That is awesome reverence or respect. You better have a reverence and respect for the coach that's coaching you. The other one is just straight up fear. If I don't do my job, he's going to cut my ass, and he won't even think twice about it. And I was with Joe Gibbs, who's one of the most regal people I've ever been around in my entire life, and Mike Shanahan, who's a phenomenal coach and a really good friend. And both of those guys, you knew what the standard was. And if you didn't meet the standard, you knew there would be consequences. And, Mike Shanahan would fire you. Like, he'd be like, hey, man, you're not playing well enough. You're fired. But I'm going to have pizza at the house tonight if you want to come by and get a slice. Like, it's not personal. This is just the way it is. And, like, one of the things that just resonated with me this offseason is Sean Payton comes in within, like, 2 weeks. He's in the building, and he's like, non-personnel, like non-essential personnel, non-football people, like business people, you're not allowed down in the cafeteria. Like, get the hell out. Like, what are you doing? This is a sanctuary. And we got business people in there. We got, hey, we're bringing our clients down to see which players filter through.
Oh, yeah. Take some photos.
Right. Absolutely. And Sean Payton's like, are you kidding me? Like, there's a reason that you guys are losing. And this is one of the reasons. You can't have that. You got to be able to come in there in your underpants and grab something to eat and not even think twice about it. You got to be able to, be having a conversation, like a legitimate football conversation, and not think about changing your locker room vernacular because, you got a bunch of business people and kids in there wanting to take pictures. It's mind-boggling to me that can go on within an organization. And he walks in, and within 2 weeks of being there, he's like, this ain't happening. This ain't happening on my watch. And there's a lot of little things that become big things over time. And I think as far as Russell is concerned, Like Sean, one of the things I talked to Sean about a lot, and I've met with him on many occasions, but we had a phone call about game planning. And I was like, hey, man, I just want to pick your brain, and I want you to help me out, like if you were doing games and how do you game plan? And one of the first things he told me was, coaches will they all want to attack a weakness. An offensive coach looks at a matchup, looks at weakness, looks at a corner they can attack or whatever, exploit, and say, man, we really want to go after this, right? And Sean says that's human nature, and young coaches will attack that regardless. He goes, my first option, or my number one priority is to mitigate potential disaster. So I may see something I really like and I want to attack, but I know it puts my right tackle in a bind, and it's gonna create a potential of a strip sack fumble and sack of the He's like, I'll take it out. My first priority is to mitigate potential disaster. Like, put a guy in a position to lose, and then don't be surprised when he loses because you're the dumbass that put him there. Like, you put him in an untenable position, and then you wonder why he lost. Like, oh, I can't believe he didn't get that. Well, because he's not able to do what you just asked him to do. And so Russell will not be asked to do things he's not good at. They will find the group of plays and the things that he does exceptionally well. The play pass stuff that has a 7-man protection and a deep 7-step drop. So you're sitting at 11 and a half yards so you can see over the line of scrimmage, and you're running like a over with a post behind it, right? And if the safety jumps the over, you throw the post. And if the safety hangs on the post, you throw the over. And it's one of those things where you don't get your vision clouded. You can see it because you're 11 and a half yards deep. Like, we'll do that off our running game. We'll put him in a position to do the things he does well, as opposed to last year doing a bunch of things that you can't do.
Yeah.
And that's what Sean will do for Russell. And that's why Russell will have a bounce back season.
That's an interesting thing to hear from a play caller, the mitigating disaster, because normally, and I've heard from players that play, a lot more important positions than the one that I played, they'll be like, well, yeah, and then they say execution is the reason why. Like, well, if we could have executed the play, it would have worked. And then all week, though, there's a thought from a lot of players like, we can't. Like, this is not an executable play, really, especially if we see this front. So coaches try to put that off. I didn't know Sean Payton was like that. Feels like he's incredibly humble there. That's like kind of setting your pride aside and being like, what do you do? What do you like to do? What do we like to do? While also being a hard ass, right? And you said the fear and everything that goes out in the building.
Right.
He was asked about Russell Wilson having his own office and his own body guru, and he said, I'm not familiar with anything. Like, no way. That would not be happening. You know what I mean? But he's won before. So just like the Bill Belichick statement, just like how Josh McDaniels and Patricia and Mangini tried to be Bill Belichick, it's like Sean Payton already has the resume. Like, if we do what this guy says, we'll win. And isn't that what we're trying to do? I love it. I love the Sean Payton back in the building stuff. We need more guys like that, I think, Stink. I think we need more guys.
I completely agree. And I think one of the other things, and Pat, you were on great teams, and I was on a bunch of really good teams, really great teams as well.
Yeah, I guess you only won fucking 3 Super Bowls. Shut up.
Right, but I think the big thing that you see is there's a way to go about it. And as I travel around the league, and every Friday I'm in somebody's facility, right, and I'm just kind of observing, watching practice, talking to players and coaches, and you can see it, man. There is a standard to the really good teams that I think a lot of bad teams, a lot of teams that are trying to figure it out, they think they're working hard. They think they're preparing. They think they're studying. They think they're making sacrifices. And they have no clue what it truly takes to win.
Yep.
The prep and like I just did an event with your former teammate, Peyton Manning. And you want to talk about anal on top, like,
dude, that's how I got dropped into the NFL, bro. That's how I got dropped into the NFL, like, watching this human who is a robot. This guy's a fucking robot.
Right. He's like, so he's asking, we do this golf tournament thing and this fundraiser, and like, I'm getting text messages. Hey, we want you there at 6. This is the attire. I want you to be dressed like this. No shorts. And it's one mess. I'm like, dude, for the love of Pete, just lay off, man. I get it, right? And so then he's like, hey, then he leaves a voice, like a 2-minute voicemail where he's like, hey, I'm going to ask some of you guys to come up, blah, 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 blah. And, and you got to be able to tell a story, but it better be a funny story. And so my text message back to him is like, on the celebrity rung, I'm last on the ladder of your celebrities that I'm sure you're inviting. But I go, I am the best storyteller you'll have there. And I go, but don't feel obligated to bring me up. I gave a couple stories I would tell. I go, but don't feel obligated to, bring me up. I'm just a super fucking yoked old dude that smells like I am, and by the way, I am an absolute unit right now.
Yeah.
I'm just going to let you know, I have been training like I was making a comeback. I am so freaking strong.
Let's go, dude.
Let's go.
I don't know what I don't know. I don't know how it's going to help me. But I do know when I walk into the gym,
they know
I'm an intimidating son of a bitch.
Yeah.
I am intimidating everybody. Everybody. So
Hell yeah.
I do know I have that going for me.
Okay, so a lot was said there that we need to break down. I don't know which one to do first. The Peyton Manning event, me watching him work whenever I was a rookie, like I play nowhere near the position that he plays. But when I finally got to the point in my career where I was like, okay, I want to actually like be great. Like I actually want to like be great here. I don't want to go in every game like nervous. Like I would like to fucking be good, great, have a good time doing this. I like thought back to what Peyton was doing and like, how do I transition what Peyton was doing into the punting world? Because this motherfucker in the middle of special teams periods, I'd be punting. He'd be running sprints across the field because like offense is on the sideline, defense is on the sideline. We got a special teams period. Everybody's just kind of hanging out. And then all of a sudden you see fucking 18s, big head, sprinting across, doing gassers. And then all of a sudden you see some other people from like the D-line. They're like, all right, I guess.
Yeah.
Would have never done that, ever. Guys that would have never done that. They see Peyton, it's like, all right, I'm fucking doing this now. It's just like one thing leads to another. And it's like, if you don't have that set of like leadership, I think it's gonna be hard to figure out that that's actually happening because, damn, it's fun to watch like somebody who is he's taking it into his business world though, to your point. I mean, I've been asked
everything the guy does is every, T's crossed, every I's dotted. And like I get there early because I'm an offensive lineman, so I'm always early everywhere I go. And I get to the event Sunday night early, and that dude's doing a full dry rehearsal. Like he's up with the mic doing a driver, and then people are like, okay, then we're going to introduce how are you going to introduce so and so? Because I'd like to have something to say after you introduce so and so.
Bingo.
And like through that, and I'm like, this is why we're so different. They're like, we're going to do this. I'm like, yeah, whatever, it'll work out. I'll make it work. It's fine. Like that dude is one of the most detailed people that I've had the chance to be around, and you can see why everything he does is successful. I mean, leaves no stone unturned.
He's not the only one, obviously, in the history. Tom Brady, I assume, was the same. All the greats, I assume, have the similar work ethic. And I was very lucky to get to watch it live, and I think that's kind of the biggest part. Tone has a question for your world, Stink.
Yeah, Stink. Yeah. I know your relationship with Sean, I believe you've talked about consulting with the Saints before, and then you talk about Sean coming in and making changes right away. I think one of the changes that we noticed right away is that he immediately changed the offensive line, so I assume he wasn't happy there. And was there ever a chance of you potentially becoming an offensive line coach or a coach for Sean Payton out in Denver?
Especially with how jocked you are.
Yeah.
I have talked to Sean about that. I've talked to a lot of different organizations about that. I think there would be a chance to go to work. I just don't, ultimately for me, I love what I'm doing right now. So I'm not ready to walk away from what I'm doing right now. The other thing is, and this is going to sound kind of goofy, but I don't want to be second in command. I don't want to, I don't want to have to go through those hoops. I feel like you've done what you've done throughout your career and you've studied the game the way you've studied the game. I just want to come in and be like, I'd like to just come in and be the offensive line coach. I don't want to have to spend 2 years being an assistant.
No, buddy.
Dramatic pay cut. And I think when you're a former player, like coaches, want to test you. Like, they want you to do all the grunt labor for a couple of years before they promote you.
AQ was fixing printers at 6:30 a.m. and I got a photo of his ass, 6:30 a.m., sprawled out on a very hard floor, fixing a printer from the bottom because they had to print out cards. I'm like, you played in the NFL 12 years, won a Super Bowl. Are you not rich? What are we doing here? It's like, this is the process. Right. This is the problem. Like, no, it fucking isn't. Not for me, I don't think.
So you and I think the same way. I'm like, that's not my process. That may be your process.
There he is.
But yeah. Oh, yeah. No.
That guy's like one of the toughest humans to ever exist. Full football career.
Great.
He bought in, by the way, because he's a good teammate, which you would have to do. You have to buy in completely and everything like that. But you're right. The coaching process is an interesting one. It certainly is.
Right. Yeah. And I just didn't like the things that I'm doing right now. I really enjoy, and I'm knee deep. Like, I do a different offensive game off a coach's tape every week, and I try to, or not every week. I've been doing one a day, and so what I try to do is I try to format it like, okay, 1st and 10, first play, right, and then I do like shorthand. What is the formation? So is it trips right, nasty, H minus, like, so he's on the weak side, the running back.
Of course.
So I have a shorthand for the formation, and then I'll watch the play, both sideline and end zone. And then I'll say, hey, is it a split flow run? Is it, is it counter? Is it power? Or is it, what's the route combination? And who did it go to? So I'm trying to get as much information as I can, still diagnosing the play, and then trying to figure out, okay, what's the best way to take that information? So now I can go down and I can highlight every third down. Is there a correlation in the formations that they run in third down? Is there a personnel grouping? So I also put the personnel group down too. So is it 11? Is it 12? Is it 21? Is it 22? And so I go through all these things, and then I try to sit down and go, okay, is there something that I can garner from that information as opposed to just watching plays? Like, I want to know.
That's a lot of time, Stink. That's a lot of time.
Yeah.
One a day?
Yeah.
So you're lifting, watching film, and then just eating protein and doing
basically I just eat protein, I lift, and I watch film, and I do my radio show every day.
You're a legend. Stink. You're a fucking legend. Yep. We appreciate the hell out of you. We are 69 days away from the NFL kicking off. I can't wait to watch you and listen to you on Fox as you utilize all the information that you are garnering before 4th of July.
Wow.
Stink, you are committed to your craft. You're a good person for the NFL to have in our world. We appreciate the hell out of you. Quick thing about the lifts here. What are we doing? Are we still going in there, punking little kids on the bench? Like 20-some-year-olds are in the bench, and you say, excuse me, boys, walk in, lift that thing 5 times, put it down. Is that a PR for you? Walk off? Is that what you're doing still?
Yeah. They like, sometimes I'll go, how many more texts do you have to send before I can use this equipment? Because everybody's on their phone in there. Like, put your damn phone away. Get in here, get your work done. I was doing lat pull downs the other day, and I had a ridiculous amount of weight on, like 220. I was doing lat pull downs with. And this guy goes, can I work in with you? And I was like, yeah, sure. And he gets in there.
Full body?
Yeah. The body comes up.
Yeah.
So I kind of snickered at him and go, hey, weakling, get out of here. No. But
am I up now? How many reps are you doing versus how many I'm doing? I think you did 2 maybe. Your whole body. I don't know if that's a negative one.
I don't know what kind of record I could set on the bench test, the 225 bench test. But
hold on.
Like I said,
how many do you think?
My absolute unit.
Where do you think at, like, ballpark? Where do you think you are?
What right now? I could do between 30 and 40 somewhere.
Okay, we'll set the over under at 37. Okay, if you get over 37, we'll donate $50,000. Has to be. Hold on, though. Has to be a legit film.
Yes.
Okay, we don't need any fuckery like Dan Orlovsky's.
None of that.
Dan Orlovsky lied about his score not on purpose. He said he did his math wrong for a donation when he played at Oakmont. Are we close to 37 right now? If we had to,
I don't know. I could probably get close, but one thing that you'd have see, I would get a lot of people go, well, you're doing 3/4 reps.
No, I don't care. if I see that thing move, that counts. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
All right. So yeah.
Live on show.
I'd be close. I'd probably be close.
Zito,
I'd probably be close. I don't know if I could get it. I don't know if I could get 37.
Well, that's why it's a good number.
Yeah.
That's why it's a good number. So we'll set up like if you get to 32 to 34, we'll do this.
Yep.
34 to 37, we'll do this. Because if you're, how old are you? No, you don't have to.
57.
Holy
Jesus
shit.
Christ.
I saw another older man do a couple different things. The thought of them sitting under a bench with 225 on them, 30 sometimes would be a feat anyway. All right, so what we'll do is we'll do it live on the show next week.
Okay, well, hopefully, yeah, we might be able to. Now next week I've got the Fox seminar.
Okay, week after next.
Yeah, we could probably work the week after.
Okay, week after next we'll go live on there. So you'll have to have somebody who will hold the FaceTime.
Yeah.
And then we'll just get right after it.
Okay, we'll see if we can make that happen.
Let's go.
Hell yeah.
You're a dog, dude. Ladies and gentlemen, Mark Schlereth. That'll be awesome.
Yeah, what a weapon.
I just want to let you know I'm a fucking unit right now.
Yeah. 220.
220. Oh yeah, that's a big human.
That's absurd.
That he's just pulling Dahn from the clouds, fighting gravity. I mean, that is bananas to think about. Someone like, I work in with you. Think about what that guy was probably wearing.
Yeah.
He had the bodybuild shirt on, the whole thing.
The Rock logo.
Like I'm definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely the hardest worker in the room.
For sure.
No question about it.
Workhorse.
No question about it. And then Schlereth is like, do you know what you're fucking dealing with right now? I'm an ox. I'm an actual ox from Alaska. 69 days away from the NFL, which is an incredible thing. Connor became the Countdown NFL kickoff guy last year. With Twitter's new rules, had to adjust a little bit, do it differently.
Yeah.
Does a tweet every single morning. Having somebody on that represents the day is a good idea.
Yeah, it's awesome. And it also gives you something to look forward to. Like today being 69, being done with the 70s, you kind of, every time that number on the left changes, that's really where you start to make headway. It's not week to week. It's when that 6 goes to 5, and then that 5 goes to 4, and then we're really in it.
Yeah, we're going through positions.
Exactly.
See, right now we're in the offensive line.
Yep.
Okay.
And it's fun.
Then we'll get into linebackers and some offensive line to 50s.
Yep.
40s were the
40s
safeties. There's a couple safeties.
Secondary guys.
Yeah.
A couple safeties in there.
30s, same thing, kind of. Not many.
Running backs.
30s, some RBs.
But once we get to the 20s.
Oh, man.
To the teens.
Yep.
Now to the single digits.
I
mean, we are inching our way towards Chiefs.
Lions.
Whoa.
Opening night, the Detroit Football Lions.
Who would have thought?
Nobody.
Not me.
Who would have thought?
Hey, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome for the Lions fans. Hey, when are you on prime time normally? Thanksgiving. Thank you. Yeah, we actually
And it's actually 12:30.
we actually forced the NFL to do that.
Yeah.
That is why we are on prime time. You see us with your families, fuck off. Now, when are you on prime time? Well, Thanksgiving, obviously, because we forced the NFL into doing that. Also, opening night, the biggest draw, basically, of the whole season.
I'm so fucking excited. I
The
can't believe it.
Detroit Lions have to take on the 2 men that we saw last night, though.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Patrick Mahomes said it, though. When do you see me when do we blow out teams?
Yeah,
Never.
good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that spread stat from last year. They were like 1 in 10 at one point.
I've lost so much money, so much money betting on the Kansas City Chiefs. And every single time I think, well, next week they're going to get it back.
Yep.
Next week they're going to get it back. Spread this week, 11.5. Who are they playing? Bum-ass whoever. It's like, well, Patrick Mahomes.
They're going to beat the shit out of them.
Travis Kelce, they can beat them alone. Like, literally. And then all of a sudden it's a 4-point game with 4 minutes left. Have to get a stop, have to get first downs to kill this thing. They ended. Oh my God, another cardiac chief situation. Yeah. And I'm out, massive bet, because I assumed this would be the week that they got back. They didn't. Next week, same thing. Next week, same thing.
What?
Next week, same thing.
What?
They are probably the book's best friends.
Oh, yeah.
Because everybody wants to bet on the Chiefs like me, and then they never cover. And Patrick Mahomes told us yesterday on the match, he said, he likes good TV. What do you want?
Yeah.
Hey, sorry about
Zoom.
it.
Nice suspense.
Sue me. Did you? Are you not entertained?
Yeah, you are.
You're welcome. You're welcome in this entire thing.
Same with Brady and the Bucks last year, because every single week with the Bucks, it was like, this is Tom Brady. They got Godwin and Evans. They're going to go down and destroy this team. I actually specifically remember the Giants was a primetime game, and it was like a 10-point spread or something really before the Giants really hit their stride, and it was like a 3-point game. Giants damn near won.
A lot of the NFL games are closer than we imagine. We got to remember that next year as we try to put our Don't do it, Pat. Be an adult. Be an adult. Be an adult.
Put our
hard-earned money on any of these games.
Yes.
Yep, that's right.
On any of these games. Let's remember that. That they're a lot closer, even if it doesn't seem feasible at all, Tone.
Last 3 seasons against spread-wise, they had not had a winning season. They were 8-11-1, 10-10, and 8-11.
Yeah, I felt every single one of those.
I think that Lions-Chiefs game opened at like 7.5, if I remember correctly.
Where's it at now? I do wonder. Tone will look it up.
Yeah, and the Lions, speaking of, too, they were unbelievable against the spread because they're started 1-6, and then they just
6.5
rattled off.
Ooh, it's moved to 6.5.
Okay. Good number.
Okay. Have the humans who are betting caught up to what the Chiefs are? Chiefs will win if they have to. Like when a push comes to shove, probably get the dub. But they're getting bored. They will fuck around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They will have a good time. They'll miss a couple 2-foot putts.
Super Bowl hangover is a real thing.
Yeah, we got a short off season. We've been having fun. The Coors Light Bear, obviously, doing its thing. But then, we need 10 here in the fourth quarter. Oh, cool.
Sure.
I forgot we're doing this.
Sounds good.
Let's play football
right now. Okay.
We'll get it in 3 minutes.
All right. Bang. All right. Need a stop, Deke, huh? Can we?
Chris Jones.
Defense player of the year.
Coming through.
He just tweeted this. D lineman for the Kansas City Chiefs said, yeah, I'm going to win defense player of the year next year. I fucking love it. I absolutely enjoy the thought of people putting things into the universe. And everybody talks about how people can speak things into existence. Like, that guy seems to speak things into existence. That guy does all that. Well, normally, whenever you put something out into the public, you feel a sort of pressure to get it accomplished, because if you don't, then obviously everybody's going to say, this guy's full of shit. Everything he says is a lie. So Chris Jones just out of I am loving this right now. Is my response. Chris Jones goes, yeah, I'm going to let people know these are my expectations. And then every single day now, he is going to have to feel an added pressure of the world and the public going, this guy's full of shit. I love it. I appreciate it. Hell of a football player. Now, with that being said, there's a lot of dogs on the defensive side of football.
Ton.
A lot of them. A lot of incredible athletes, freaks that are trying to get to the quarterback. Not that Chris Jones isn't one of them, but winning one of those awards is very difficult. But I like his confidence. I like that he's putting it out there, and I can't wait to watch this Chiefs team play football again.
Yeah, and last year it did feel like people wouldn't talk about him. Like it was Micah and Nick Bosa. It was those two.
He was third in voting.
Yeah, and he was the other finalist for Defensive Player of the Year. So he's been there. He's close. It's not like this guy hasn't been performing well. Now all of a sudden he's saying, hey, I'm going to be the Defensive Player of the Year. Like he's a stud. So
Stone Cold Chris Jones.
What?
That's what they said, right?
It's also almost kind of a detriment to him because, even if he's incredible, like he almost has to have like a 19-sack season because no matter what he does, it's always going to get outshined by whatever Mahomes and Kelsey are doing on offense. So like he every year has to have the best year of his career in order to even be in the conversation to win it.
So he will get a lot of primetime games.
For sure.
He is obviously a member of the Chiefs, and the Chiefs are currently in the middle of a potential dynastic run.
For sure.
Have to recognize that. We're in the middle of potentially watching a dynasty, and we have to enjoy it, and we should appreciate it. But to your point, when you're on primetime, there's a lot of pieces that are done about your team, a lot of interviews that are done about your team. Chris Jones, let's hope he gets a bunch of those this upcoming year that helps boost the voting to potentially win Defense Player of the Year. But when you got potentially the next best football player of all time on your team, it's going to be hard for people not to focus on, like, look what this dude has accomplished already, what he is doing tonight. And then Travis Kelce is going to go down as probably the best at his position as well in the history in almost everybody's eyes. It's getting to the point where people are like starting to think that. Hard not to be like, hey, we're witnessing greatness here. And then you got to pay attention a little bit to the team that you're playing against.
Right.
Got to get a Jared Goff special in there. Got to get a Dane Campbell special in there. So whenever you're talking about the amount of pieces that like TVs and the reason primetime games are so awesome for organizations is because how much you learn about the organizations in the little interviews and the stats and everything like that gets projected to the entire world. Always good for business to be on a primetime. But you're right. He has to be like normally fifth fiddle for every single one if he has the best year of his life. If he plays worse than he did last year, I mean, there's not even a thought of like, hey, we're going to put this guy over, because we are currently watching maybe Mount Rushmore football player when it's all said and done, and Mount Rushmore tight end of all time whenever it's done, and we're in an offensive points-driven world. That is a fascinating little wrinkle to the whole thing.
Yeah, because it's almost like if he gets like 2.5 sacks in a game, but Mahomes throws for 350 yards and 4 touchdowns, like what he does will be a footnote. Like it'll be mentioned, sure, but like you got an interior D lineman getting 2.5 sacks in a game. Like, that's a fucking incredible game. But
also, fourth quarter, this dude threw for 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, exactly.
His QBR was 126.1 in the fourth quarter.
Look at this no-look pass.
And it's hard not to get.
Exactly.
How about when he balanced on one fucking hand? You remember when he was running completely sideways, balances on one hand, reaches out for the touch? Hard not to talk about that.
Yeah. Exactly.
Hour and a half, 2 hours by all of us. Hey, Chris, we want to let you know, we're going to talk about you.
Yeah, we love you, Chris.
We'll cover it.
And Andy Reid. Like, Andy Reid, everyone loves. So even though he's not playing, he's almost below Kelsey and Mahomes before they get to Christian.
Let's get to a break. AJ Hawk will be on the other side. Also, representing the NBA, Kendrick Perkins will be on.
Okay.
I don't know if Kendrick Perkins golfs. Okay. Hope he does. Probably great on the course. Would be nice to share 18 with.
That'd be cool.
But he needs the answer for what happened to the NBA yesterday on that golf course.
That's right.
Because it's a lot more than just what was going on golf-wise. The NFL broke those NBA guys.
For sure.
Now, I'm not saying I did. Steph and Clay would have beat me. Let's not even get crazy. But what Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes did to the NBA representatives on that course yesterday, broke them.
Yeah. Dominated.
Steph's a +1. I don't think he made a putt over 7 feet.
Just a bad day for Steph.
Yeah.
Clay, though, I mean, we need to watch him next couple of
He's
days.
a boater.
What's that?
He's a boater. He's not a golfer.
Clay?
Yeah, we knew that.
Like a fisherman?
Yeah, like a fisherman. He loves driving his boat. He's live on IG.
Oh, really?
And he's driving his boat, yeah.
Oh, so he was kind of like offered an opportunity and said, yeah, it'd be cool.
I guess.
Yeah, or they offered Steph. And Steph was like, who would you want me to play with? And they're like, Clay. You and Clay are kind of like the Kelsey and Mahomes of the NBA. And he probably committed, called Clay. Clay's like, what the fuck, dude?
You're putting me in a terrible spot yet again. This is what I'm talking about, which is why we need to watch Scottie Pippen sitch.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it's buy Klay Thompson's gear.
He does have a sweet logo.
KT.
Yeah. Sweet shoes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys hit 0 fairways yesterday. All 4 of them.
A lot of headshots in the crowd.
Yeah. Klay Thompson.
I wish they would just not allow fans.
I don't know why they do.
Yeah.
Just don't allow fans.
Good point. It's a distraction.
I understand you're trying to do what's right, and probably people will either like get perks to go to that from Wynn, the casino or whatever. But we shouldn't have to watch Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, Steph Curry, and Klay Thompson, who are committing to do this in an offseason, also deal with non-secure fans that want to take a photo, get an autograph, and almost get run over by golf carts.
Yeah.
Like, that shouldn't be something.
No.
Clay nailed the guy.
Yeah, Pat hit a guy, Klay hit a guy. Steph almost ran a kid over.
Yeah.
Like, that should not be happening.
The fans that also line the tee box, kind of ballsy there. I mean, you have no idea where that
We
drive's
should have no
I
fans
agree.
out there.
Yeah.
No fans out there.
Especially when you got guys who are +15s and +11s. It's like, hey, you think he's going to hit it 300 right in the middle of the fairway every time? Like, no, there's a chance he's snap hooking this right into your teeth.
Let's get to a break. AJ Hawk will be on the other side. Kendrick Perkins as well. Plus your phone calls on the 500 phone line, 1-833-432-3663. A lot of things have happened at the place that we will be heading to at a date TBA.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
C as in yes in Spanish?
Yes.
All right. That was something.
Yeah, bilingual show.
Yeah, and I also did letters, and that is a letter.
Yeah, so C as in
C could have been added on to the back, and I didn't know if that was potentially happening,
Yeah.
or if he decided to speak in a different language on this show.
for
I think
TBC.
it's because you said TBA that I had to say C.
Like to be continued.
No.
Yeah, but TBA's to be announced.
Exactly.
TBD could have been.
But it's already been D.
Boom. It's been D'd.
So now
Now it's time to A.
Put the D in it.
C
B and
Bingo.
to our Spanish-speaking audience.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyways, a lot of things happen over there. Don't love any of it, obviously.
No, it's terrible.
A lot of people that I know and like have obviously been delivered a piece of information today that is not good at all. Got a lot of people sending me stuff for this entire thing. $30 billion is spent on sports, I do believe, by Disney. I hate that this happens in any business. I love the shit out of people that like to work. I appreciate hardworking humans. And I understand how incredibly sad and disappointing this all is. I fucking hate it. Don't like it for anybody. But I do believe there's a chance that I've been kind of desensitized to this type of thing a little bit because in the NFL or any professional sport, you very much know what it's like to spend every day with somebody, work every day with somebody, build a relationship with somebody, have lunch with somebody, go into a meeting, and then come back on the other side of the meeting and never see that human again. They got cut. They are now selling insurance in Omaha, Nebraska, and you never see them again. And it's just like, that news always sucks. So I fucking hate that anybody has to experience that. And I don't know how or what the reasoning and who and how it got chosen, but that is a bummer.
Yep.
And I do not like it at all. With that being said, I don't appreciate getting blamed by people either.
Not how it works.
That's not cool. I got some text messages from numbers that I do not know who allegedly worked at ESPN previously to today. They said some rude things.
Pretty nasty.
Yes, they did.
Messages.
Said some rude things. Green text messages feels like they were burner numbers, fake numbers to send the number through.
Possible.
But Jesus Christ, bro. Or lady, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not sure.
Couple of them. Sorry about it. I really, truly am. But what you're saying to me right now is pretty fucking rude. Let's get to a break. It's a feel-good Friday, but I understand there's devastating things that are currently taking place.
Sure.
It's a fine balance.
Yeah.
Take some phone calls, talk to AJ Hawk, and we'll talk shit to Kendrick Perkins about the NBA. Be your friend, tell a friend something nice. Don't send text messages like the one that I received.
No, not something to me.
Hey, I don't like that.
No.
But I don't like what's going on either.
No.
Take five!
Ain't nothing Lady Grey can't handle.
Turn left onto 33rd Street.
They said to come to the loading dock.
Yeah, they want to set up a shot, so they're gonna come out with cameras and like show that we're tailgating.
Tailgate spot.
Do a U-turn.
Is that what he's saying? We're just doing a U-turn.
Want to move up?
And this guy tells Z, yeah, hey, just follow that car right down that way. And so we're thinking, okay, no problem.
Backing up.
So Z moseys on down this way and just fucking
God. Jesus Christ. I think it's stuck. Fuck. I fucking told you guys. Like, come on, dude.
Who told you to go through here?
These guys did.
Nah, you supposed to come through this shot like right here. I didn't tell you to go through there.
You told me M.
Yeah, right down this lane here.
Fuck.
It's a pull-up sign.
Come on, guys. Fucking A.
I'll be looking out there.
Oh, fuck.
So what you just heard was a RV that was clearly too tall for an awning that was hanging over. And Zito was going so fast in that the entire RV ended up under the awning.
Yep.
And it wasn't until they were all the way under that Zito said, "Oh, I think we're stuck." And at that moment, he puts it in reverse and rides back through all of it. And that's when the piercing sound of metal that you heard ripping through.
fucking dude. Did it fucking everything up there? The backside fucked too? How's it going, sir?
Yeah.
Yeah, they just keep fucking sending us through here.
Just sending somebody out, just hang tight, alright? Did you check the top?
It's destroyed.
Scratched up?
No, like the whole thing's. Oh, fuck. Like, they're gonna fucking send me fucking through somewhere.
You good though? Everybody alright in there?
Yeah.
Stay calm.
Yeah, you're right,
Stay calm, kid. They told you to go through.
I am on the bus with the rest of the WWE roster driving by. There's 2 fire trucks, there's a cop, there's paramedics, there's quite a scene.
Fucking A. How's it going, sir? Oh, yeah, they sent me through, and I was just like, alright. Yeah.
And we're just rolling by going into the fucking MetLife Stadium, and I get a Corey Graves. Is that your RV?
Yeah, you guys hear about McAfee's guys? Drove a fucking RV into the arena? Into the arena. That road to WrestleMania, man.
Hey, I'll tell you what, that's the furthest I've ever seen any vehicle get underneath that fucking awning. Look at the ladder on the back of the RV, it's almost fucking off.
Light bulbs are falling. The ceiling
God.
is made of styrofoam. There's styrofoam dust falling everywhere.
The air conditioning unit probably weighs like 250 pounds, and it's just laying up there. And we're like, what should we do with this? The guy's like, oh, it's a rental. You want to fucking take that with you? Trust me. You gotta be shitting. So eventually, he was like, yeah, actually, it's leaking a good deal of coolant. Why don't you just throw it down the fucking hill over there?
You know what? I mean, the damage is gone. The same who's left there at the accident. I mean, it's gone.
The damage is already done. Just throw that thing down the fucking hill.
It was a good run. It was a good run.
So we thought you were going to fire us all, going to be so pissed. And then we look at the group chat and you say, boys, the hashtag road to WrestleMania is not always a smooth one. Somebody send the RV agreement to Phil. And then in all caps with a quote, we took the roof off at the MetLife.
So I'm looking around, the cop's like, I was trying to explain to the cop, like this guy, and I'm like looking around, no one's there, and I'm like, shoot, and he was basically telling me it was supposed to be a $500 ticket. So he was like, but I brought it down at $85, but I was like, well, what do you mean? Like, it wasn't my fault. The guy told me to go. He was like, well, it was careless of you to go.
Let's get the fuck out of here. That was wild. Absolutely insane.
All things considered, I think we're okay.
$85 ticket.
So what was the ticket for?
Careless driving. And I was like, is it careless fucking instructions?
Yeah, I think it's low enough now. I want to make no sense.
Go, go, go.
Hey, we're good. Appreciate you guys.
Hey, why? Let's go. This show fucking stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
AJ, never cease to amaze me with your toxicity, pal.
You got a couple of these?
God damn it! What the fuck are you doing?
Fuck Boston.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Feel Good Friday, June 30th, 2023. Hour 2 of the program starts now.
Feel good!
Friday is happening with the Toxic Table at Ty Schmidt, at Boston Connor, and at Boston Connor's mullet. That looks fantastic going into its first Independence Day weekend. Woo. Good luck to both of you. One half of the Hammer, Dahn, Cowboys Tone Diggs, who had a clean sweep last night on bets on Hammer, Dahn, after dunking on his co-host, making right with the gambling gods. Last night, he's back on fire. Congrats to you doing what's right.
Attaboy, Tone, for your sins, and you will be rewarded in perpetuity.
Well said, Tony. Well said.
Let me write that one down. Joining us now from an attic in Ohio. Way to go, dude. Way to go.
I think Stink used it. I've been trying to get it in.
Yeah.
Toxic positivity.
Maybe go back to the workshop. You know what I mean? Maybe go back to the workshop, see how you can get it in there. Toxic positivity is what I'm taking away because that is so real when you're describing how some people work no matter what. Hey, here we go. Hey, listen, not now. Okay. Huh? Don't need it. Stinks like Russ needs to get rid of that.
Yeah.
We all agree. A man who is toxic positivity every single day. He's a college football national champion, a Super Bowl champion. He's currently the champion of Ohio. Actually has a jacket and a trophy. He's a COVID survivor, father of 10, the all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, and the reason why the layoffs happened, AJ Hawk. AJ.
Nailed it, Diggs. That was amazing. I love that. I love when Diggs delivers a good line like that.
Yeah, especially one that's well thought out.
Yep.
You know, he's really he's put the mental rehearsal in with it. He's tested it a few times in between his ears, and he says it's ready for the world to hear. That one may be top 5 of all the ones that you have had.
I still have a lot of P words in my brain going on right now, so I mixed a couple of them together. That's fine. That happens.
That happened this week. A reporter for the Volume Sports Network, also a part of The Herd with Colin Cowherd, Jason McIntyre, on the He's on Fire podcast.
Straight Fire
podcast with Jason McIntyre said that Kevin Durant called him a P word and a broke boy in his DMs. That happened this week.
Drama major.
And Kevin Durant also called him a drama major, which is the first time we've ever heard that used as a term against somebody. I've never heard that used before. Shout out to all the drama majors.
For sure.
But also drama majors don't like being called jocks, I assume.
True.
I would assume that is something they don't enjoy. But that happened this week, AJ. What are some of your favorite things that happened this week, pal?
KD calling him, what, did we figure it out yet? Was it a penis? Is that what he called him, maybe?
No, I thought we landed on pterodactyl.
Yeah, we did.
It looked like a bird brain. Yeah, that's what he was talking
Good point.
about.
I'm glad we cleared that up. A lot has happened this week, even though a lot has not happened all at the same time.
Yeah, and when you have to do a daily show or get to do a daily show, we never have to do anything. We get to do a daily show where, you get to hang out with a lot of people every single afternoon, and I'm very thankful that people choose to hang out with us. So we have to talk about something.
Yes.
And when you're searching for something, you'll find it.
Oh, yeah, always.
This week gave us some stuff.
For sure.
How about that match last night, AJ? I mean, you're talking about Mahomes, Kelsey magic happening on a golf course. Minus 260 was what the Golden State Warriors were favored going into this match. Steph Curry, who's better than scratch golfer, and Klay Thompson, who's Klay Thompson. He'll figure it out. They got cooked. Did you watch it? What were your thoughts on it? And shout out to Travis Kelce being the star of the show.
Yeah, with Travis and Mahomes, they're an unbelievable duo. Like, whatever they do, I feel like they could win. Just be like, they're gamers, and they know like when it matters, they're going to play their best. And Steph, unfortunately, Steph didn't make any putts, and he kind of had an off day for him, and Klay didn't give him much help. So good luck. That's how you find yourself 4 down through 5 or whatever. And it's like, all right, how do we get back from this?
They were up against it there, and there was a time, I guess, where Patrick and Travis were like, let's go ahead and miss a couple 3-foot putts, 2-foot putts. Let's keep them in there. Patrick said, I like it. Good TV. What do you want from me? Unflappable confidence from Patrick Mahomes. I don't know if anybody else noticed that. I did. Whenever he hit a bad shot, he's like, go on, roll, and then it would end up in a good spot. It's like, feels like the people that are that way do seem to get lucky more than other people for whatever reason.
They create their own luck. They create it. You can create your own luck. I agree.
Every time he was stepping over it, I got to throw a dart real quick. Like, that was the way he was talking. And I don't think he's a golfer that, like, golfs every day trying to become a professional golfer.
No way.
It's just like in those biggest moments when it seems like other people potentially get a little shaky. And Steph Curry has the same trait. Let's not take that away. Those two motherfuckers seemingly always show up. And it is a joy to watch. It truly is. Last night was fantastic watching them beat the shit out of Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. Now, we do not know Steph or Klay that well.
No.
We don't know Patrick and Travis that well. I mean,
also true.
Personally, I guess we do not. But I do know that once they got 1 up and they got 2 up, and that thing, they started,
real comfortable.
And they started chirping from the tee box.
Yeah.
And they started doing that. He's like, it's going to be a tough train to stop. It feels like there's a lot of people that have tried in the past. Remember, there was a time where the Titans I think they were up 21-3 or something like that. I forget what the exact score. In Houston, when they were starting this down, it was up like 3 scores.
24.
Yeah, 3-4 scores there at some point. It's like once those dudes get rolling, I'm starting to believe it's in anything. And Travis said, me and Pat, whenever we play cornhole together, when we play darts together, when we play golf together, obviously when we play football together, it's just like, yeah, we play well off each other. And that was real. One shank, one mass in the middle of the pine trees.
Bingo.
Was it 200-some yards, I think?
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's a 7-iron right through the trees like a perfect shot. It's like, I got you. That's incredible to watch. I love it. I loved everything about it.
Yeah, that's what it's like if you're playing a scramble, there's different partners that can help. Where, okay, this guy usually drives the ball straight. This guy's a bomber, but he hits it out of bounds a lot. This guy's a good putter. That's what those two guys just picked up when their partner needed them.
Yes.
Hey, I got you, man, and we have it. And I think that the confidence, you're right. You can see the confidence build right from the jump. Like they seemed like they were comfortable, they were excited, and they came out there and just killed it. And obviously Draymond, I think, helped Pat and the Pat and Kelsey team with talking to Clay and everything he was doing was. I enjoyed having them on the broadcast.
I enjoyed them a lot.
He and Vaughn both, yeah.
Yeah, and there was a video of Travis Kelce teaching Draymond Green how to shotgun a beer with one of those beer.
Yeah, beer straws. I think they're called.
Beer.
Like a portable chugger, a portable funnel.
It would be like a small bong, like
beer bong. Yeah,
pretty good device. I've seen it around after my generation, I believe.
Yeah,
of chugging. This thing was created. Yeah, it's the thing on the end. I think isn't Mike? What's his name? Mike Stud.
Mike Stud.
Dude, I think he created this thing.
Oh, okay.
I think he was a part of it. I do believe. Where you put the beer in there, then it has something, you stab it, obviously, to get the shotgun hole out of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's called the Chug Bud. There it is. Good name.
Chug
Knew it had to have a clever name. So Draymond doing that, and Travis Kelce teaching him. And then there was allegedly some Advil being vaped as well. It seemed like they were having a good time there. And Vaughn, we all know, super positive about everything.
Yes.
Super positive about everything. Steph Curry said something to Clay, hey, you just need to do this or whatever. And you heard Vaughn chirp a little bit toward, yeah, Clay, just need you to
do that.
Just need you to do this or whatever. Like it felt like all parties were working against Clay, you know? And I said it a couple times today.
What?
We're all kind of watching it unfold right now.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
With Scotty and Michael, you know?
You think they're going to be they're going to have a strained relationship? Is that what you're trying to say?
Could you imagine being Clay? Just think about you think about Scotty first of all. Where Scotty's coming from? That's how much this whole Michael Jordan Scotty thing has confused me. Because I'm like, what? I thought you guys were Pippen and Jordan. I mean, this is just and obviously Jordan's the greatest. I didn't know the basketball world as well growing up. I just kind of, as an outsider, assumed that's what it was. And then you think about from Scotty's point of view. Scotty's like, wait a minute now. I won a bunch. I'm fucking really good. I was a massive piece of this whole thing. And I get no respect at all in the history of it. Everything goes to Michael Jordan. When they talk about this Golden State dynasty, 15 years from now, 20 years from now, when it's a different thing, I believe there's probably going to be a lot of Steph Curry, right?
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well,
yeah, because he changed the game, but they're also going to talk about the Splash Brothers, and they will include Clay.
Okay.
Yeah, and
I hope so. You're right. We will. If we're still doing it,
we will.
We will. For sure. Well, Draymond ain't going to talk about that, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
No.
That's who I think is going to become kind of the Pippen of the whole entire thing is Draymond. The only thing with Steph is, Jordan had 6 Finals MVPs. Their first one, it was Iguodala. Their second and third, it was Durant. So I don't know if Steph and Clay will have that clash just because the teams they were on.
I hope not. I was watching that last night thinking to myself.
Steph is the face of Steph is the superstar of all superstars, though. I don't know. I think he still is that way. So I don't know. I mean, Pippen's
keep an eye on Clay.
How much of it with Pippen, though, do you think is obviously the basketball stuff drives him nuts, but Pippen never got paid. His first contract was fucking, shit. And then he looks at Jordan, and he's a billionaire, and he owns the team, and he's making all this money. Clay has been paid. He's made a shitload of money. So I have a feeling that drives a lot of the animosity with Pippen and Jordan too.
Yeah, potentially.
And
the
Jordan's
finances
son is.
That certainly doesn't help.
In The Last Dance, that's kind of when Pippen really turned it up because of how he portrayed.
But I think
God.
what if there's a chance they're in love?
They might be.
Oh, I think they are.
Yeah, I think so too.
Absolutely.
I think so.
Love finds a way.
Always.
Every time, especially with Larsa.
Yeah. Can't choose who you love.
Goes on this.
Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is a man who was drafted in the NBA. He's one of the voices of the NBA. He's on ESPN every single day, seemingly. A friend of the program, known racist. Kendrick Perkins.
Hey, did I dress accordingly today?
Hell yeah. You look good, too. Look at that big chain hanging, huh? We got a big chain.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
I had to make sure I dressed for the show. I couldn't find a black one in my size, but I think this one will work.
It's all right. I could never wear that one. You can, so do it. You know what I mean? Just go ahead and do that. Let's dive into what we were just talking about. Perk, I don't know if you're a golfer or not, but I want to let you know, bad day for the NBA yesterday. Bad day. The NFL guys broke the NBA guys. Mentally, physically, just an absolute ass beating. How's that happen, Big Perk? What happened yesterday? Is the NFL that much mentally tougher than all NBA players? That's what people are saying right now.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want an honest answer?
I think
yes.
Well, I can't.
Hell yeah, they are.
Okay.
And we could just don't even get me started with the whole load management and how I watch, NFL players, battle and go out there with what Patrick Mahomes had a broken toe or something like that and was out there on the field. Something was up with his ankle during the Super Bowl. Like, guys are sitting out for 2 or 3 weeks, and I'm watching NFL players battle through cracked ribs and everything. So, yes, if you want my honest answer, yes, football players are more mentally tough than basketball.
Not punters, but we get it. There's levels to this entire thing. Did you watch it? Did you expect it? And is there any conversation around the NBA community today about getting alphaed by the NFL so publicly?
Well, so here's the thing. I was a little surprised because I know Steph is a magician when it comes to being on that golf course. Okay, but I didn't know if it was a retired player thing or a current player thing because there's nowhere in here J.R. Smith shouldn't have been out there.
Oh.
J.R. Smith should have been out there.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, if we go put the top dogs out there, especially when we're going against NFL players, damn it, we got to go all in.
I appreciate the thought of we got a guy who's actually competing right now.
Yeah. Yep.
He's very, very good, let alone Ray Allen, who's supposed to be an absolute stick. But we got, now, if we're going to start talking about that, though, Jam. We got Tony Romo. Hey, we do need to watch Steph Curry at this ACC coming up because he just got embarrassed, right, golf-wise?
Yeah, so now.
And he's in the golf community pretty big. Look for a redemption tour maybe out there at Lake Tahoe. But if Tony Romo beats him, oh my God.
Well, I think what the world needs is a Pat McAfee and Big Perk challenge. That's what I think. That's the only way we can get back right.
What are we doing?
Yeah, that's what I think.
Let him post you up, Pat.
No, we're not doing basketball. No, you can't do basketball. I think we should do kicking balls.
Yeah, that makes sense.
No, I was talking about golf.
Oh, you a player?
I mean, I'm not, but I assume that you're not either. So
Go ahead, AJ.
Perk, I don't know if you saw Draymond at all out there. Draymond was with the groups the whole time, just giving it to Clay the whole night, it felt like. Do you think, and even one time Clay or Steph said, you're getting a peek into the locker room here, guys. Like he was telling the media people, the Charles Barkley and them, like, this is what it's like. Do you think that helped or hurt Clay's confidence throughout that match?
You know what? They're used to Draymond, right? He's the emotional leader. And, the great thing about Draymond is that he's never going to change, whether it's behind the scenes, in the locker room or in public. And I think it was valuable for the public to actually see that because there's nothing fake. But it also goes to show you how much respect Steph and Clay has for Draymond and his leadership and what he means to that organization. Like, it was all fun and games, but it just showed me a different type of chemistry. And it also showed me why they got rid of Jordan Poole. Although we could go back to the training camp situation and You know, we witnessed the video and the punch or whatever the case may be, but we don't know what was said. We don't. But it shouldn't have happened. Draymond apologized for it, but at the end of the day, we see how valuable Draymond is. And I've been on record, and I'm going to say it right now. Outside of Steph Curry, Draymond Green is the second most important player to that franchise.
Interesting. Like, that's something, because he's a free agent and already opted out.
Yep.
So he could potentially go play somewhere else. Them moving Jordan Poole, do you think that was a part of, like, hey, Draymond, we got rid of, this guy? Or because we heard at the end of the year, right, the younger guys and the older guys, kind of the supporting roles, were at odds, allegedly. So much so that Steph Curry had to say, like, if you're not going to, like, try to, like, only worry about winning, don't get on the bus or whatever. Then when they move Jordan Poole, that feels like an open, like, all right, this is not what we want to do going forward. But then Draymond might not be back as a Golden State Warrior. Is that actuality or no?
No. They're going to reach a common ground. And I think people are to the point right now where they're thinking Draymond is looking for a 30 to 35 million a year type contract. And he should reach for the stars and, reach for the moon and fall upon the stars. But I think, he's not going to take 18 or 20, but I think they will reach a middle ground and get this deal done.
Okay.
And again, when it comes back to Jordan Poole, it wasn't just the training camp situation that I saw. It was times throughout the course of the season where Jordan Poole was taking shots. We saw frustration in Steph Curry. In the postseason, Steve Kerr couldn't even play him. He was unplayable. Just his whole attitude. And Kevin Garnett used to always say, when we was in the locker room, he always used to watch other young stars around the league or rising superstar caliber players, and would watch them and say, I want to see how he acts once he gets his bag.
What do you think about Jordan?
What do I think about him?
Yeah. You think he gets it right? New destination?
You know what? I think he's going to get an opportunity. I think he's capable of being a 20 to 25 point scorer in this league. Now, is that going to result in wins? We have to see, but he's definitely getting the opportunity to go to the Washington Wizards and somewhat be the new face of the franchise short term until they figure things out.
Okay, well, I'm excited to see what Jordan does. And I agree with Kevin Garnett's statement. That's in the NFL, too. That happens. Like, you guys get money, and then all of a sudden, I don't want to say the Zion situation happens, but the Zion situation happens, and then, like, an ankle, that you talked about NFL players playing with, like, broken feet and broken ankles and stuff like that. There are some guys who get their money, and it's like, actually, this hamstring still tight, still tight. Going to need a couple more weeks in this entire thing. That happens. You got to stay away from them. I appreciate the fact that happens in the NBA as well. I think the more I learn about the NBA, I think the more I and everybody should appreciate, like, these guys are grinding. Like, I think the thing is, like, prima donnas, kind of superstars. They don't work hard on the defensive end. They don't do that. Then you go watch a game, and it's like every fucking possession there is people yelling. There is a plan, a system. It's a real deal. I appreciate the hell out of it. But the NFL is just beating the fuck out of the NBA.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
you know what? One thing about it is that I'm going to always try to keep it real as much as possible. And I got to agree with you on that.
Yeah.
Because, I just came in 2003 when I was when I was playing against guys like Ben Wallace, Rasheed Wallace, Tim Duncan, Shaq, Antonio McDyess, Vin Baker, those old school guys that just that always wanted to play, 70 to 82 games and always was there, even when it was 4 games and 5 nights, you could count on those guys to be available. And now it's just all of a sudden, and it's kind of a gift and a curse when they quote unquote call it a players league, right? A players league, because it's almost like if you give them an inch, they go take a mile. And I understand they got doctors in the 82 game season, and it's all about the long haul, and the doctors, they'll look at the schedule and say, okay, on this week, you're going to rest this day and things to that nature. I get it. They got scientists out there that could dictate certain things. But again, Guys are getting paid $30 to $50 million a year. The least you could do is show up for work every single night, especially if you walking that line between being 65 to 100% healthy.
Yeah,
There's no excuse.
I'm excited to see what comes of it, though, because the awards, you having to play a certain amount of games to get in and everything, and it feels like there's at least it's going in the right trajectory there. I was just talking shit about golf, but I hope that the NBA and its stars continue to understand their value to all of us.
Yeah.
Because, boy, when there's nothing else on TV but basketball, when you got Joker doing his thing, and you got LeBron playing every single night, it's an incredible product. Then when you go to a game and you think you're going to see that, and then it's just like 5 XFL guys.
Yeah.
Like, what are we?
Oh, shit.
What are we? That's not good for business. That's not good for business.
But
either.
think about this for a second. I want y'all to think about it. Think about those hard-working people, right, that are in those NBA cities that wait on that one superstar to take their family to or their kids to, and that's living on a strict budget that every dollar matters, whether it's putting groceries in the refrigerator in the pantry or, gas money, and they pay their hard-earned money to get great tickets. And all of a sudden you show up to a game to find out that superstar is not playing tonight. I mean, man, that's just a disservice to the fans, and the fans in the basketball community make up the NBA players.
Yeah, and it's every business, and I think that was incredibly well put right there, because who knows what the inspiration could be, too, to that young kid who's on a family on a budget, living paycheck to paycheck, seeing their best player or a favorite player do something awesome, then the motivation to go try to mimic that. It can just lead to everything. We hope it happens, and I appreciate your take on it. Speaking of stars in cities that sell tickets, Connor has a question for you.
Yeah, Big Perk, you and I have one thing in common, and that's what we both got by butt-cracked sports when Jonathan Kuminga was supposed to be 7'2", but really that was a fake report. There's another fake report out there you should know. Kyrie Irving is meeting with the Suns, but some people are saying that he's meeting with the actual sun to discuss the flat Earth theory. So just so you know, that is not the case. He is meeting with the Suns. Do you think that would actually happen and is feasible for the Suns to have 5 players that are all making $40+ million a year for, and everyone gets 20 shots a game? Or do you think that he needs to go somewhere else and be almost like a number 2 to LeBron like he was in Cleveland?
Well, I think it would be extremely hard for Kyrie Irving to get to Phoenix, and I don't know if the Suns will want them. And if you're Kevin Durant, why would you want to give Kyrie Irving another chance after everything he did to you in Brooklyn, right? The one person that was reliable and went to Brooklyn with the right mindset was Kevin Durant. And so if you're KD, you can't take another gamble on a guy like Kyrie Irving, even if they did have the money or cap space to sign him. You just can't do it. I mean, literally, you can't do it. You can't trust him. But if I'm Kyrie Irving, I go back to Dallas with Luka and J. Kidd and get a fresh start, a fresh training camp. Let Jason Kidd get an opportunity to put an offense in place. And here's the thing. Luka is going to have to learn how to sacrifice and play off the ball a little bit. That's it. He cannot pound the rock for 18 to 20 seconds and just think that he's going to either take a shot or find someone, with a catch and shoot situation. He has to learn how to play off the ball, and he has to hold himself accountable on the defensive end. The one thing I saw in this NBA Finals was we came into this season, and Jokic and Michael Porter Jr., they weren't known as defenders, but when they was challenged, they rose to the occasion. Jokic was beautiful in the pick and roll. When he guarded and had to be out there on the island by himself, when he switched out, he slid those puppies. Same with Michael Porter Jr. I thought he did an excellent job of elevating himself on the defensive end. So it's all about accepting the challenge. It ain't about athleticism. It ain't about if you're the fastest person on the floor. It's about for 4 or 5 seconds, am I going to have the mental toughness to accept the challenge of stopping the guy in front of me?
Couldn't have said it better, I've seen some big names taking charges in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, I think LeBron slid into one all the way down. It's like, damn, if LeBron's doing it, at 55 years old, or however the hell old he is. Feels like everybody should be doing it. But then there's the whole conversation about wasting energy down here, or do I want to use it down here? It feels like it's always like a balance. Shout out to my voice doing its thing. Ty has a question for you.
Yeah, Big Perk, what do you think's going to end up happening with James Harden? We saw, teams like the Clippers being a possible destination, or maybe Phoenix, or, a handful of other teams.
Jeez, Perk. I mean, you just throw that thing off the wall next time. You know what I mean?
But where do you think James Harden is going to wind up? And do you think wherever he does wind up, he's eventually going to win a championship there?
No, that's no guarantee for James Harden when it comes down to the postseason and win the championship. The problem is that you can't trust him. And you don't know where his mind at. You don't know where his heart is at, and you don't know how much, like, if he ever wants to actually win the championship. Now, I will say this. If James Harden could get out of his own way, he would definitely be a valuable piece to any team that's knocking at the door on the verge of winning the championship. We saw him this year. He led the league in assists. We saw him be one of the best facilitators and point guards in the game. If he would just get out of his own way and not want the organization and coach to adjust to his style of play, James Harden definitely could elevate any team to going ahead and win the championship. Hell, he could have done it in Philly. But we saw in Game 7, he rolled over like a yoga mat. He quit. He quit in Game 7. He literally quit on Doc Rivers in Game 7 because things wasn't going his way. And now all of a sudden you get to Philly and you're playing with a guy that led the league 2 years in a row and scoring an MVP, a big. Do you know, like, in the history of the game, the perfect matchup is a big and a guard that could lead you to a championship? We just saw it with Jokic and Murray. We saw it with Kobe and Shaq. Like, if James Harden would just buy into his role with Joel Embiid and be all in, man, like, that would have been a beautiful thing. But again, it's not going to happen because it didn't go James Harden way.
Man, I love watching James Harden play basketball.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that he became the leader in assists in the NBA, and I think that should have and could have silenced a lot of critics. But then the last game of the year, you watch him play, and it's like hard not to just have that taste in your mouth because of things that have happened in the past. But what an electrifying fucking beard.
Oh, yes.
I mean, just the stories. Hey, the stories off the court.
Yeah.
Him and little baby in Paris. I mean, that's one of my favorite moments in the history of just like basketball almost. How he was on cloud 70 out there.
Oh, yeah.
And Lil Baby seemingly walked him right into a bunch of cameras. Whoa, what are we... These cameras are not supposed to be here. So I want.
Well, I'll tell you this: you might want to get your ass out of Indianapolis and come down to the James Harden weekend in Houston. You think you saw James Harden and Lil Baby down there in Paris? James Harden weekend in Houston is one of one. I'll tell you that it's one of one.
Are you going? Are you going?
No, I can't go, man. I'm married with 4 kids. I can't be around single men.
I'm married. I'm married as well. I don't think I'll be able to make it. But you're saying, in general, if you were at the stage of life to potentially enjoy a Houston weekend, James Harden weekend is the weekend to enjoy Houston.
Yeah.
Go ahead, AJ.
Perk, if at this point in his career, do you think it's possible for him to get somewhere and have some coach or an organization to, like you said, like absorb his role or know what his role is on the team to help him win? And what does he look like if he does kind of assume that role? What is it? What are his numbers like, you think?
I mean, you want James Harden still flirting around that 18 to 20 points a night officially, but those 10 and 11 assists is what you want. Like, he would be perfect on the Clippers with Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. I think, we saw what Ty Lue was able to do for Russell Westbrook the second part of the season, letting Russell Westbrook be Russell Westbrook, but also putting him in a limited role. If James Harden wants to win, that's the thing. If James Harden wants to win, then the Clippers would be the perfect situation for him alongside Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. I honestly believe that because here's the thing. At times when Kawhi and PG and you're in a half-court set and they do have the ball in their hands, the one thing you have to do is respect James Harden and his ability of stretching the floor and knocking down threes. So you have to respect that. So it's a lot different than playing against a Russell Westbrook where you could help off in the paint and treat him like a Ben Wallace. You can't do that to a James Harden in the half-court set. And now it gives Kawhi and PG more room to operate in their isolation play.
And hopefully all of them will be able to stay healthy if they're on the court together.
Yeah.
You know, like I feel like that's kind of the Clippers story. Like Paul can play, Kawhi can't. Kawhi can play, Paul can't. I just feel like we haven't really got to see that Clippers thing do its thing. But when it moves into when they move into that new arena with more toilets than everybody else in the entire league, them winning would be fantastic. Last question here for you, Perk. We appreciate your time.
Yeah, Perk, free agency starts today at 6 p.m. Eastern, I believe. Is there something or someone that you want to see most out of this free agency period as far as someone going to a team or a trade or anything like that?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. When it comes down to it, I'm looking at two players. I'm looking at Brook Lopez and I'm looking at Bruce Brown. The Milwaukee Bucks cannot afford to lose Brook Lopez. I don't give a damn what nobody say. When it comes down to what he brings to the table, him and Giannis anchoring that defense at the 4 and 5 position, he complements Giannis so well offensively because he's a 7-1 guy that could stretch the floor and knock down threes, and he's the ultimate rim protector. But then when you look at Bruce Brown, and we saw what he did in the finals and the postseason, and he's gotten better. When you look at his ability to make plays and, you know, stretch the floor and knock down threes, I'm looking at Bruce Brown, and, you know, if you're the Lakers, if you're Sacramento, you know, if you're Dallas, adding Bruce Brown to your team is a serious upgrade from where you came from last season.
Hell yeah. And he's not a father.
No, he's not.
He's not a father. He does not have a baby. I found that out. I actually, I didn't get that was quite a scene, you know. That was quite, I did not expect to be the one that Bruce Brown told the world that particular piece of information, but the internet got me. You know, every once in a while, that'll happen.
It happened to us all. We'll keep it moving.
Yeah, but you hate white people.
No. I actually love everybody.
We need more of that, don't we? Have a great day today. We appreciate the hell out of you, Big Perk.
All right, fellas, I thank y'all for having me.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kendrick Perkins.
Yeah, Perk!
I actually love everybody.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was incredible. Last time he was on, I think he was talking about American players versus foreign-born players.
Yeah.
Which probably the point he was trying to make whenever he was originally called racist.
Yeah.
If I had to guess. If I had to guess. But if you start looking at that stat, it is crazy. It's like, hey, MVPs, pretty much all of them last 5 years. I think all of them last 5 years, foreign-born. Number 1 overall pick, the next face of the league, foreign-born. Yep. It's like the star of the NBA Finals and the postseason as a whole rides in the back of a horse on a wooden carriage from Serbia.
Loves to go back. Almost wanted to miss the parade because of it.
Great for the sport.
Yes.
Great for the sport as a whole. But I think a lot of the ex-players are like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Hey, my hood used to create the guys.
Yeah.
Now we got a guy who's riding the back of a horse who's beating us. What do we have going on? I appreciate Perk taking the time.
Yeah, and they changed the All-Star game format because it used to be, you know, the rookies versus sophomores, young stars of the league, and now it's just USA versus the world because there are just so many more players who are coming from international and other countries.
Yeah, and the world team, I bet, tries a lot harder than that.
I would say so.
I would assume they're trying, which is a shame. And I'm not going to get into a full, that is pretty much how, you know, not just basketball potentially.
Yep. Sure.
I'm not going to say that.
No point.
AJ, you want to say it?
What are you trying to say?
He's not going to say it.
I said I'm not going to say it.
I'm confused what you're not going to say, though.
Well, then why don't you take a guess at what you thought I was potentially going to say, and then
something about foreign-born players versus American-born?
And then what? And then what were we talking about after that? The All-Star game being USA versus the world, and then what happened?
I have no clue who won that game. I did not watch it.
Yeah, but the world tries hard.
Just pay attention to the show. It's a talk show.
The game, the day before the All-Star game, you think I know what happened there?
Open your ears.
Oh, my, this guy. Come on, I know it's Feel Good Friday.
Yeah.
You got me.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know what you're going to say. I don't know what you're going to say, though. I can't wait to find out.
Well, that's because you're over. Oh, I'm not going to say it.
No.
So
You're not going to find out.
Yeah, ever. You're over there with your torch.
Yeah.
Got to monetize this.
I hate it so much.
You're going to steal my
decals.
Decals. I haven't watched that in a while.
They want to kill me.
I have not watched that man do anything absolutely absurd. It's such
it's so weird.
Such a long time.
I think it was the LSU baseball team. It might have been a different one, but that was one of their celebrations in the dugout.
Wake Forest.
Wake Forest.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Dude, so Zito saw him do an interview, or somebody saw them do an interview.
Like the New York Times.
Because we put in a real request for Tim.
Yeah.
Like typed it up, whole thing. Like, hey.
He's got to know, like, the pub that we have given the show. I would hope someone floats something to him.
So that we were told, like, not really doing any, not even a thought to do any meeting. And then the New York Times got an interview or whatever, obviously, because it's the fucking New York Times. His performance in that
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, he would strictly talk about spicy foods. Essentially, what you see of him on the show is actually how he is. It's like, you should write the article about how much I love spicy food.
When when we sent the ask, I was hoping that he would just come on and just scream.
Yeah.
Like every question we asked him, he's and then stopping, and then like a full behind the scenes of him telling, I think it went really well. You know, like that would be the brain is just one of the most absurd ones in the history, I think. And he's being given the keys to kind of do it. I'm very thankful that we live in a time where that's happening. He's going to have misses.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
He's a volume shooter.
But boy, is he good whenever he hits.
It's too bad that I wish 6 episodes. It's just because you burn through them so quick, and they are so good that you can rewatch them. But like now, we're not going to get 6 new episodes for probably another year and a half. It's a little depressing.
Let's go to the phones on the 500 phone line on this Feel Good Friday before hour 2 ends here. I don't know what we're going to do hour 3. Oh, I do know actually.
Oh yeah.
We will have a hot dog challenge.
Here we go.
As we go into this 4-day 4th of July weekend. 4th of July, obviously next Tuesday. We will be back next Wednesday. To celebrate this, obviously there is a tradition that takes place at Coney Island.
That's right.
Where Joey Jaws Chestnut, now a citizen of Indiana, will go over there and beat everybody's ass in eating hot dogs.
Easy.
So, to celebrate Joey Jaws Chestnut, the reigning, defending, undisputed hot dog binge-eating champion of the world, and 4th of July.
Yep,
of course.
Which was, people forget, that was kind of a Babe Ruth situation.
It was.
The war was not over on the 4th of July.
No, it wasn't.
Did not end for another year, but it was like kind of point at the wall. We're about to end this thing.
We won.
And they go ahead and do that whole thing. And obviously not everything was good back then. And it's not perfect now. But you go to another country, you realize neither is they. And we still got work to do, but we're in a great spot.
Yes, we are.
Need to get better.
Always have to.
Need to get better.
Absolutely.
But celebrate happy birthday to America. Zito will attempt to eat 7.5 hot dogs in 5 minutes.
Whoa.
Hell yeah. 7.5 hot dogs in 5 minutes. If he's
Are
able
you
to
dunking? Is he dunking in water? Sorry.
In mustard.
No, so he's putting mustard
Nice.
on it. He's actually adding on it. He's not trying to make it smaller. He's adding things to it.
I can't wait. Honestly, I'm excited. I didn't know this was going to happen. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, so I think it's a really good concept. If he's able to eat the 7.5 hot dogs in 5 minutes, we will give 25 people $500 to celebrate the 4th of July weekend.
Whoa.
Only thing you have to do is obviously retweet the video of him doing it, say something nice with somebody, and put the easiest way for us to digitally pay you, whatever that is. Whenever we first broached the subject earlier, idea from the wife, actually. The wife was like, why don't you try to chug some beers and like do like an American contest? It's like, don't know if we need to do that, but certainly hot dog eating is right there. As soon as I pitched this idea to Zito or whatever, I go, Zito, how many hot dogs you could eat in 5 minutes? He goes, 15. This guy said 15.
Be disappointed in
be
himself.
disappointed if he couldn't eat 15.
You're going to have to dunk him. You're going to have to dunk him if that's the case and just swallow him, basically.
No, he was going to put mustard on all of it. He was just going to eat them. He said 15.
15.
So then he went back to, he was like, remember at that Yankees game, I
innings.
I had like 20 of them or whatever. It's like, that's 4 hours.
Yeah.
That was 4 hours. So I said, I was thinking you were going to say like 5. So then some other people were like, got to be like 8, maybe 10.
10.
So we fell on 7.5 just because that's half of what he said. More than what I'm expecting.
Oh, so that's so many.
If this fucking guy eats 7.5 hot, we'll give We'll give 35 people $500.
Okay.
Actually,
Here we go, Z.
That's not much time. 5 minutes.
No,
to quit.
it's not.
No.
not at all. Not at.
Does Zito have any experience being like a speed eater like that?
Zito, you don't have to answer that question. Don't be such an
Yeah,
asshole.
what are you talking about?
Don't be such an asshole.
I'm saying, has he ever done anything like this before?
Never done the whole dunk and all that stuff. No, but if there's a little bread left, is that all bread has to be gone?
No, no.
Okay.
We can do 1/6 of the bun can be
discarded.
Get discarded.
Thank you for that.
No problem at all. I think that's probably a good.
My cholesterol thanks you.
You think a 6 is proportional?
I just don't.
I think the cholesterol is coming from the dog.
Then
But I understand what you're saying.
Then there's gray areas.
Yeah,
think about all the chewing. There's a lot of chewing.
Yeah, make sure. Chew, I mean,
7.5 dogs in 5
Listen, I don't
minutes.
think there's any chance, but yeah.
Do it for America.
Yep.
He's going to have to do the type of chewing. Like, if anything, he should be waving at
Should
us
we
while
drop
we
this
do it.
number? The louder we talk about it, the more absurd it
So
sounds.
the,
in my
the only
mind.
thing I'm thinking about is when we did the pizza stuff for when we were doing like the Office Olympics. And that pizza was like cold and hard. It took a while to take that down.
Are we
because of
grilling
the
these or
mouth.
what?
Yeah, I don't want to brag. I took down that pizza.
Very fast.
I think we should do 7 because then there's the push capability of it. Because if he gets 7 and not the 8.
No, it's 7. He's half a hot dog.
Oh, okay, yeah, true.
Yeah, so it's 7 and
Makes it
half
through
a hot
half
dog.
the end.
Oh. Yeah.
Someone's got to measure that. You got to measure that half. I think there could be some issues with that.
It could be a third even. We can even give you a third.
Yeah, I think you're right though. I mean, even 5, a dog a minute is still
insane.
Yes.
Is it?
Do you remember how everybody was talking in here earlier? Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Zito going 15, and then
That
everybody
was
else like 10 should be
10
easy.
should be fine.
I'm like 10?
10.
What the fuck are we talking about?
I also don't want Zito's Friday to just be completely ruined. Have him eat 7 hot dogs in 5 minutes.
When we
and
did
just-
the Yankees game,
right.
that whole day was ruined after those hot dogs.
Yeah, we went to
We had a long,
Triple G.
we had a long night ahead of
Was that a
us, too.
contest or was that just casual?
Did you have 9
inning
beers to go
challenge?
along?
So it was free hot dogs.
Yep.
So Zeke made this challenge up in his head.
Yep.
They also had every single like buffet item you can think of, like sushi, tacos,
Crab
steaks,
legs.
crabs. Yes, I ate hot
Lobster
dogs.
rolls.
And I think Zeke was doing double dogs with 1 bun,
He was.
which is very helpful.
Wow.
Okay, hold on though.
Yeah.
Let's talk
That
about
is.
that. I think
That's a different story.
I think you can go 2 dogs, 1
Single
bun.
bun.
Let's
That
go.
changed
Let's
everything.
go.
Okay, so you can do 2 dogs, 1 bun. So that's 6. You're gonna have to do.
Yeah, you could do 4 of those, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you just cut off.
And if you make it halfway through the 4th, that's 7
8
dogs.
dogs, 4 buns. Though.
Yeah, 8 dogs, 4 buns.
All right.
Yeah.
What if he
That's
went
not
3
bad, dude.
dogs, 1 bun?
Those buns aren't big enough.
But he could make
Got
a,
small buns on purpose.
Yeah.
could do a bun sandwich, though, and put a bun on top of 3.
No, I think 2 dogs, 1 bun is the farthest.
Yep.
I think that's respect the game. Respect the game.
And we'll drop it to 6, so you can do 3. That seems
That's very
gettable.
That's too
It does.
gettable. I think
That
7.5
seems doable.
we're on
That's
it.
very doable.
I think 7.5 is on it.
Okay, cool.
I'm just thinking about like 4th of July parties, going to a party and like just.
How about this? You're allowed to do 3 2 dogs, 1 bun. You have to do 1 dog, 1 bun, half dog, half bun.
Yep.
Perfect.
Okay, so we can expedite 6 of them.
That's fair.
But then you need to. I still don't think that is attainable.
No, I think he's got it. Now with
I think he
less
might
bread,
have it.
I think
Yeah.
he has it.
Thinking about a dog.
Bread is
turn,
tough.
That first one goes down real quick.
The first 2 will probably go down very, very tasty and delicious.
What about 5 6? Have we thought about 5?
Well, Zeke hasn't eaten today.
Oh yeah, there was a smoothie with like vitamins and everything in it. He was
Open
like,
up the stomach.
When are we doing this? And I was like, end of the show. He's like, gotta stop drinking this. I'm like, no, let's make sure we keep the good stuff going too. It's like, nah, it'd take up space.
Smart.
We'll go poop or pee or something. He's like, nah, no, I'm just not gonna drink. He threw it away. I'm like, get rid of all the good stuff. Actually, huck in all the bad stuff.
Yeah.
Sodium overload.
I guess happy 4th of July.
That's 4th, baby.
All right, so we land on that. That's happening at the end of the show, whatever time the end of the show is.
So pumped.
Let's answer a couple phone calls before we get to a break. Let's go to Corey in Michigan, 5 Energy phone line. What's going on, Corey?
How we doing, boys? Keep it moving.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
I need your guys' help settling a debate between me and my friends. We've been going at it for a couple of years now. We going Jim Carrey movies or Adam Sandler movies?
Well, Jim Carrey, clearly, but to keep up with the kind of my gimmick, Sandman makes the best movie
Yep, Sandman
of all
forever.
time. Jim Carrey has range, bro.
He does.
Yeah, Jim Carrey movies by far.
Yeah, Jim Carrey is
I mean, The Truman Show.
a wizard.
All of them.
Truman Show, how about the one where he played the guy landing on the moon? What's not landing on? I
Yeah,
think-
Man on the Moon.
Man on the Moon.
Andy Kaufman.
Andy Kaufman. The Grinch. I mean,
Ace
that's
Ventura. Are you kidding me? Ace Ventura.
What's that numbers one? What's the
number 23?
Dude, he and me, myself, and
Irene.
Yeah, I mean, Jim.
Fun with Dick and Jane.
Jim Carrey needs not to be being compared to Adam Sandler.
Wow.
Jim Carrey needs to be being compared to other people.
He's an artist now.
I think it's unfair. Yeah, I've heard.
Very well.
I've heard he's done some of that. Adam Sandler is in a much different lane.
For sure.
Still
than
bangers.
Jim Carrey.
Still bangers.
Absolute heaters.
Yes.
If you see that golf ball in the glass break and it says Happy Message,
Strap me in.
a banger's coming.
The Outlaws.
Bingo. But Jim Carrey, completely different vein. I don't think that's a fair.
If you wanted to compare maybe Sandler's best versus Carey's best, then you have. But the whole catalogs overall, I feel like is an uneven battle.
All right.
I agree.
I'm happy we got to the bottom of that. Let's go to Alex in Penn Hills, East Hills of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. What's going on, Alex?
Pat Boyd, keep it moving. How you doing?
Nailed it.
Nope. Boom.
So, do you think the NIL is ever going to adopt a salary cap? And if so, what do you think that's going to look like?
Alex, great question. AJ, to do that, you would need somebody to represent the players in negotiation. I don't know if you're ever going to be able to do that. There's a group right now that is representing the players that is potentially holding up the next creation of 2K.
Yeah.
And those people need to know that the 2K creators have the fans that want 2K to happen, and they also have time, because in a year from now, when you're no longer the people, there's going to be a whole different crew. What are they going to think? And also, don't have to give money to everybody. We can just give money to the top 20 people. That's the whole union for the players is something I haven't been able to conceptualize yet in how you figure out and do it right. Have you, AJ?
No, and that's the thing with the NIL is nobody knows. Like, you talk to coaches, and they're like, I don't really know, man. There's not really rules around. Like, we don't really know if we can do this, if we can do that. It's not clear. It's almost like how the gambling stuff came out for the players in the NFL at first, where, okay, does this work? Does this work? What are they allowed to do? So salary cap would make sense, because you could see some definitely big differences in teams that could bring in tons, millions and millions, and other teams that can raise $400,000.
I guess a salary cap, though, doesn't have to be negotiated by the players. That can be negotiated amongst the coaches.
Like,
the team.
Whoever
schools.
could, yeah.
Athletic directors, just have them do it. And for the game, like
then they're monitoring it all. Who's enforcing it?
Yeah, how do you?
I don't think they'll ever do that either, because then that kind of limits boosters giving money to the, because some people, if they're going to donate money to a school and they say like, okay, yeah, but this needs to go to the general scholarship fund as opposed to like the football team, they're like, all right, well, you can shove that up your ass, because I'll donate $10 million to the football team right now, but I'm not doing it just for,
I think we're in a transition phase, and anytime you're in a transition phase, obviously it feels longer than when people talk about a transition phase from like 20, 30 years ago, because you're in the middle of it. Feels like this is going to take at least one cycle of college to figure out. One freshman class that moves in, and the next round of recruiting, how does it – I feel like it's going to take 5-6 years to kind of figure it all out, and that's on the low end. I think that's on the low end. So – I'm pumped that we get to experience it, but from all accounts, it's the wild, wild west right now. And there's no slowing down. There's no slowing down at all.
And do those top-end guys for the video game even care if they're getting that much money from the video game, because they're getting so much money from the schools? Like, are they...
Well, money
I think they know...
money in is money in.
It's top 40 comment.
That's a good point.
The whole shout out Dave Coonan, 40 under 40. Way to go, Coonan.
Congrats, Dave.
Hell yeah.
Friend of the program.
Dude.
Obviously in there. I think they're a lot more entrepreneurial now, though, too.
True, yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, guys not wanting to be in the game at the price in which they're being offered, which I think was like $500 for some guys.
Yeah, tiny.
I very much understand that, and I appreciate their business sense and saying we're worth more than that. But, like, in this particular case, you're worth what somebody's willing to pay you. And, like, 2K will survive without you.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
And the union that is, like, taking a stand right now and representing, I hope they have the best interests of the players in their heart and everything like that. But, like, the graduation and turnover, I don't know. They'll figure it out. People will figure it out.
Exactly. At some point.
Good luck, big brains.
Good luck, everybody. Go figure that out. I'm sure Ohio State's trying to figure it out as quick as possible.
That's right.
For sure.
Right, AJ?
Everybody's trying to bring in as much money as they can, man.
Let's go to Warren in California. Whoa, no, that's not figuring it out. That's the complete opposite. You guys are just trying to take.
Well, that's what NIL is, though. Every NIL school is saying, what do we do to continue to pump up our NIL money? That's what everybody's doing.
Yeah, and we saw what the coach, I believe it was Ryan Day, who said, like, hey, if we want the 5-star quarterback, 5-star lineman, 5-star wide receiver, like, they are slotted now as far as money goes.
Yeah, and Ohio State has this machine.
Yes.
But it's also though, which I didn't
Mm-hmm.
I didn't anticipate
fucking
is
each
all
other.
the transfer with the NIL situation. Oh, this guy's a good player over here. He's a great player for this team, and we'll give you some cash. Come on over to wherever, a little bit bigger school and get paid more money. Like the transfer thing's crazy.
Trent Dilfer said, "Go ahead and try to pluck my guys.
Good luck."
Really?
I'll call you out and I'll fight you." I created anti-COVID spray at
Beat
Lipscomb Academy.
Save the world.
Trent Dilfer, real deal, said, like, "I dare you to try to come poach my people.
Mhm.
I will publicly humiliate you." I'm like, Trent, I respect that. I fucking love that you're saying that. But Ryan Day, if Ohio State gets a guy from UAB,
give you $1 million.
and you talk shit about Ryan Day is sleeping so soundly that night. You
Does
know what
not
I mean?
care. Yep.
And nobody at Ohio State is like, Ryan Day's a bad guy. It'll actually go the other way.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of coaches that are at those smaller schools that are very much like, so let me get this straight. I find this guy, I recruit this guy, I coach this guy, I make this guy good, make him a pivotal part of our entire team, and then what? I'm just a feeder system now to these schools that big. That sucks. I mean, that's not cool at all, but I like that the players are potentially going to get paid for their hard work. So I'm kind of conflicted on how that all works
What
out.
if it's a good player? Like if there's parameters, I don't even know how you would do it, but the school that they are plucked from gets a certain percentage of the.
It's like a buyout, like in soccer, like when you're leasing a player from a club.
Jordan Addison. It just happened with him when he had his best year with Pickett. I think he won the Blitnikoff, and then Lincoln Riley poached him to USC.
Yeah, and Pitt just won the ACC there, which is obviously a whole thing. So USC was at, I won't say the bottom, but they were.
They weren't good.
But they had LA behind them.
You know what I mean? Lincoln Riley, they buy him that house.
I think the NCAA is much more worried about putting guardrails and trying to fix that as opposed to NIL as a whole. Like that a guy just has a good year and then transfers somewhere else for money, because then it's like, well, what the hell is a letter of intent? You know, it's like all that's bullshit then. Like it's basically free agency if you have one good year.
Yeah. And I think to Ty's point about what the NCAA cares about and what they don't care about, I think the NCAA as an organization has proven that they'll do it right?
Sure.
Always. The fence.
Never cut
They're
corners.
just trying to survive. They just want to make sure they're around. That's all they're trying to do, because everyone thinks they're going to be gone.
Yeah.
We don't need them.
With these conferences becoming what
Man,
they
it
are.
seems like they just make dumb decisions all the time. Seems like they focus on the wrong things.
It's interesting.
Penny Hardaway is suspended for 3 games because he went and visited a recruit at the wrong time.
Can't do that.
That's how that works.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
It's because they don't have all the little stupid things anymore to where, hey, I got to suspend this guy. He accepted a meal from a stranger. Now it's like we got to find these people and suspend them so we feel good.
Hey, we still got power. Fucking
Yeah.
remind them.
Yeah.
Remind these people.
We run this. We run
Flex
those
those muscles.
This is our college athletics. You know, it used to not be whenever we sold it to the BCS. We weren't even allowed to crown a champion. Remember when we did that?
Oh, yeah.
The sport that makes the most amount of money. We didn't even, it would take us out of our hands.
give
You
it
guys
to a
buy
computer.
the champion. We'll name the D2 champion. That'll be who our champion is. But we are on integrity and certainly about the student athletes.
Always.
Strength and honor.
Hell yeah. Thank you, NCAA.
Love you, NCAA.
Is Mitt cooking those hot dogs?
Urbo's cooking hot dogs. Yeah, Mitt's
There you go,
cooking
Mitt.
the
I see you,
phones.
Mitt. Yeah.
Let's go to Ryan, who has his grandma Joyce, if I'm reading what Mitt wrote in here accurately. Ryan and grandma. What's going on?
Hey, Pat, I'm going to queue up my grandma. It's her birthday weekend this weekend, so I'm going to put her on.
Am I on?
Happy birthday, Grandma!
Yeah, Grandma!
Hell yeah.
I'm glad the McAfee Show is amazing.
Yeah, so it's fake, yeah. Hey, Ryan, hang it up on impersonations. Think you probably suck at them. You know what I mean? Probably something else. Probably something else. Maybe not the grandma voice.
Sounded
Maybe,
like the guy from 8 Crazy Nights.
yeah, maybe. Yeah, a lot of Sandman. That did kind of sound like a
A
Sandman.
little bit.
How was that going to end? Like, what was the plan on what?
Maybe there
What was the content?
joke
What was
at
the
the
content that was going to happen?
Yeah.
know.
Some
Say
sort
Dahn.
of zany joke.
Zany.
Ryan, you still got it. Just maybe not the grandma.
Yeah.
I
Go
was
back
on
to the drawing board.
Edge of my seat.
Call back and do another one.
That was for his grandma. Hey, Mitt, let's not,
Yeah, did Mitt get duped by that?
Yeah.
Did
Mitt,
grandma
did the
come
grandma
on?
call?
Mitt.
How'd that, Mitt? What happened there, Mitt?
Okay, Grandma.
I'm on the phones. I got to refill.
Oh, does he have more?
Yeah, he does. Grandma,
Does microphones work over there?
you're awesome, Grandma.
Mitt,
He's turned on the board.
Mitt.
Someone's calling. Yeah, you can hear it now.
Mitt.
Panicking.
I can hear
Don't
the
panic.
phone ring.
What's up?
Hey, what happened there with that grandma thing? Did you hear the grandma and put it through, or did Ryan say, I got my grandma and that whole thing?
Ryan said that he had his grandma. I did not hear his grandma.
Oh, so no follow-up, like, hey, let me hear if grandma...
Got to hear grandma's voice.
Yeah, I probably should have. Yeah, that one's on me.
No, this is the first time for anything.
Yeah.
We were just a little bit worried that you heard that and thought, oh,
Holy shit, his grandma loves the show.
That was not the case, right, Mitt?
No, I just thought it was kind of a nice concept of the guy. I thought it was just a nice thing to do for the guy and his grandma.
Yeah,
but,
that's very nice.
feel
It was her
good.
birthday, too.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mitt. You're a hero, Mitt.
Good boy, Mitt. Nice guy, Mitt.
Way to go, Mitt. We appreciate you. Let's go to Warren in California on the 5 Energy phone line. What's going on, Warren?
Hey, how you doing? Keep it moving, boys.
Respect. What part of California?
Yuba City. I'm actually about like 20 minutes south of where Aaron Rodgers is from.
Oh, okay. Up there in Chico.
North
All
Cal.
right. Yeah. What do you want to talk about, brother?
Hey, so got a little bit of a bone to pick with the boys.
Nice.
So
love that.
You guys, over the past few weeks, you guys been, any chance it comes up, we end up talking shit about the Bears and the team they got going on over there, and I think it's a little bit unwarranted. I don't think so.
Whoa, the Bears?
I think it's a little bit unwarranted.
Worst team.
Hey, well, you guys had the number 1 overall pick. The only way you can go is up. You can't get the number 1 overall pick 2 times in a row. Pretty warranted. What are you talking about? We're super positive.
Yeah, not the Jags.
There's reasons for that. I mean, when you roll out a wide receiving group with fucking Byron Pringle and fucking Imar Marset Smith,
Okay,
what do you think's gonna happen?
So that's what your
When you
team
got a-
did, though.
when you
Like,
got
your
a
team did
turnstile-
that.
That's not our
Your
fault.
team did
I mean,
that.
you
My
got
team
a- you
didn't
got
do
a
that.
I didn't put him out there.
We got the number 4 overall pick. We didn't do much, but we definitely did better than you guys. But you guys
you,
did
Lovey.
that. Not us.
Yeah.
Not us, Warren.
Well, a lot of that has to do with Ryan Pace and the contract that he gave out to dog shit players.
Well, so you're talking shit now on the Bears. You're talking shit now on the Bears, Warren. Why are you coming on this show talking shit on the Bears? I got a bone to pick with you, Warren.
Yeah.
Things are looking up in Chicago.
Hell
and
yeah.
here's you.
Yeah.
Just bringing up the bad things
I'm
that happen.
absolutely looking forward to this season. I don't think that there's any one guaranteed pick on who's going to win the North this year. I think it's a pretty even spread all the way around. I don't think you can count out the Bears with the addition of DJ Moore on the front end. You got a linebacking core that has TJ Edwards and Tremaine Edmonds. I think it's going to be a good year, and I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, Warren. Well, geez, us too.
Yeah.
Jeez.
We're not the one
Have a good
positive,
weekend,
Yeah,
Warren.
not dog and pay.
This guy talking shit on the Bears. Why
is it that?
Let polls cook.
Jeez Louise. I do like that the Bears seemingly are going to be good this year.
Yeah, very positive things.
What's that, Ty?
Are they?
Yeah, everyone thinks so.
Yeah, they
do.
completely changed their entire team.
Yep.
Ty was so disgusted when I said that. His face, he almost puked.
They've been making stats up for the Bears though. Did you see the one that had Justin Fields at number 1 that was like the best touchdown interception ratio in the 4th quarter with 5 minutes left against winning teams?
Hashtag stat that. Let's get to a break. Hour 3 will be on the other side. We're pulling for everybody.
Yeah. Want everyone to win the Super Bowl.
ELE.
Even the Vikings.
Yeah.
Yeah, even the Vikings.
That's right.
I thought we had a pretty good relationship with the Vikings.
Me too.
Turns out.
Coming after me, man. Coming after me.
What'd you do?
I said Dalvin Cook to help Justin Jefferson. And I might have said...
You said run game opens up the pass game.
I think that's what I said. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
It is a cool part of life right now. It's a cool part of life where nothing really, and this is because baby, I think, changes everything.
Sure.
You know, like when I get home, I'm worried about like making sure there's a bottle ready when this baby starts screaming for the wife.
Mm-hmm.
I'm worried about like, hey, do we have the diapers that we need? Is the trash good? Is the food here? That whole thing, as opposed to what's being. It's been a pretty freeing feeling.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, during the season, I like to read everything and see everything because I want to know everything.
Of course.
It's going to get so loud those first couple weeks on ESPN.
Mm-hmm.
It's already starting right now.
Yeah, very loud.
And all these people that are blaming, well, I think they're blaming me.
Yeah, they're mostly blaming
You're getting
you.
all the shots.
They're blaming me for all this stuff. Like, they're probably, if they have talent, which we assume everybody does,
of course,
they're going to end up working other places.
Sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be so jaded about what. My
yeah.
God. There's some real talented people that are let go, too. And they are going to go pen to pad.
Yeah. Praying on the downfall.
About us.
Even the ones that didn't let go, that their friends got let go.
Oh, my God.
Also going to be jaded.
Boom.
Yeah. So sad about it, too.
Yeah, very bummed about getting buried.
Yeah, and anybody who it would be upset in the entire world.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
We don't like the people we're
This is
upset.
what happens when you're nice. This is what happens when you're nice. This is what happens when you compliment.
Yeah, that's why we are anti-compliments now.
Oh, yeah. Who do we want to say something nice though? Because it's Feel Good Friday about somebody.
Yeah, I've eased up on that, because last night I was watching the match and I was like, look at these guys. They're having fun.
Look at you.
Well, and you know what? I appreciate that. Today's the smack off on, Jim Rome.
20th year.
Exactly. 23rd smack off, so.
Clones.
I said this morning, I cannot wait to hear Brad and Corona's call. That's a compliment.
Nope.
I love Jim Rome.
So do I.
He's always been very good to me and to us.
Malaria.
But you saying what you just said right there, if Jim Rome was maybe a fragile person, he'd be like, look at them making fun of this. It's like, no.
Nope.
Hey.
I love Jim Rome.
Nobody takes anything we say serious either, which is a problem.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
And maybe I need to look inward. Maybe
Me
we
too.
all need
We
to,
all do.
Maybe we all need to
That's
look
what we
inward.
need to do these 4 years.
Yeah.
Or 4 days, I'm saying.
Yeah.
Everybody look inside.
Let's reflect.
Let's find the best versions of us. Okay? So that when we say things about people, they think we actually mean what we're saying.
They're never going to believe us.
I got ayahuasca for everybody, so wherever you're at this weekend, do it. Look in it yourself.
Guess what? I'm on ayahuasca.
I think when you take
right
ayahuasca,
now.
you're looking down on yourself, not in at yourself. Because I believe your soul does.
Yeah, levitating in a celestial state.
You're also not
right, AJ? Isn't that what you did whenever you went on ayahuasca with Aaron?
I have not done it, but I don't know. I've heard multiple different stories on it affects everybody differently, I think.
Okay.
Oh, what have you heard? I want to hear.
Everything, what is it? Mother, what is it? Mother God or whatever. There's all kind of buzzwords out there that really get you dialed in.
Buzzwords.
Let's all think about those buzzwords this weekend.
Yeah. Okay.
And let's look inward. We are going to get absolutely murdered for the foreseeable future.
That's fine.
Looking forward to it.
Listen, boys, it's time to buckle down and just know that our shins are about to get buckled.
Well, that's because that's fine. We got grit. We got sandpaper. We have John.
And we got shin guards.
Boom.
One of them at least. Yep. Shout out to Stephon Diggs. Fashion. How about first day me just wearing those shin guards on ESPN?
Yeah. That'd be a good gimmick.
Ready for
armor,
it.
Full armor.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Catcher's gear. Full catcher's gear.
Here we go.
Just like a knight.
Boom. What we will say is there is like 14, 15 of us. You know what I mean?
Yep.
We are an entire business and company that is just fully creating something
Yeah.
and delivering it. It's a little different situation, I do believe.
Yeah.
But hate us if you'd like. We won't read it because we're busy with our babies.
That's right.
But also, if you would like to tag me in it as well, I will read it and I will bookmark it and I will remember just for future cases.
And maybe you can look inward too.
Bingo. Yeah. And I will after
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the people that
people are sending them. I know.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah. But also, if you want to lash out, direct it right at me. I can take it.
Lash out irrationally. Shout out to Santa Claus. Cannot wait for fucking holiday season.
Exactly. Oh, man.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Dude.
Close. We're close.
All right, we're back in 5 minutes with more phone calls, wrapping up all the storylines from this week, and Zito Perez
Come on, Zito.
will attempt to win 35 people $500 when he will have to eat 7.5 hot dogs, 4.5 buns in 5 minutes. This will be a tall feat, but Zito thinks he can do double that.
That's right.
It isn't a lack of confidence if this doesn't work. It is literally a lack of ability.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Come on, Zeke.
Be your friend, tell a friend something nice. Take 5.
5.
Obviously, this is a conversation starter for everybody when they're talking about the dynasty, and there's still Raiders fans that are pissed off about this. Here's the game plan. Go out there in the middle of a snowstorm and make a kick that you're not supposed to make at all from 45 yards.
This is the Patriots season on the line.
Do you remember this moment right here in your head? Were you scared to death? Were you fucking pumped?
I would say I was probably more scared to death as I'm watching the Tuck Rule review and realizing, holy shit, we get the ball back. Oh, yeah, by the way, it's coming all down to you, man.
This will be a 45-yard attempt. That's Vinatieri's luck from this distance of late.
Once I got out on the field, I really had three thoughts. First and foremost, try to attack the ball, but stay light on your feet. Just like anybody, you're running on ice. If your cleats don't stick, you're falling on the ground, and then the ball's going to end up hitting your center right in the back of the head. I wasn't thinking about missing 4 of the last 5, if that's truly what was going on. For me, it was all about, hey, these guys aren't going to be able to get a good rush, get it straight and get it above the line of scrimmage. And thank goodness, as it left and I saw that they didn't block it, then it was all about, I don't know if it's going to have enough distance in this snow, let's hope for the best. And I really didn't know until the referees at the back of the end zone raised their hands. I couldn't really see it, couldn't tell if it was good or not.
Hell yeah, because it's a snow globe. What a kick. What a moment. Obviously, that would go on to launch a dynasty that the NFL will never see again or before. What a kick. What a moment. Here's an overtime. You got to make another one.
Substantially easier kick. Not just because of the distance, but we called a timeout. We cleaned a bunch of ground. This is the one time that a coach actually icing me probably benefited us, right? Because it gave my offensive lineman with the big size 16 cleats to get out there and move a little bit more ground. And, not to say a game winner's ever easy, but this one compared to the one quarter before that was substantially different.
So you're coming out here sighing a little bit of relief. Oh, thank God. I can see the ground. I'm not going to fall.
Right.
We've already done this.
Exactly.
This is no problem.
Tied.
And then you murder that ball dead center. And then obviously in the Super Bowl, you have like a 49-yarder that you hit at the top of the upright. Couldn't have been a better ball, I don't think. You hit it cleaner. You have something inside of you, okay, that not a lot of people have. And Joe Burrow seemingly is a guy that has it. What is that?
I would love to tell you that I was born with, or I developed the ability to, be a clutch under pressure. I do think that there's certain people that are born with the want or the ability to say, Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, Mariano Rivera. These guys and ladies are the type of people that go, I want the game coming down to me. I want to be the reason, LeBron, I want to be the reason why we win or lose. I was kind of that same person, playing soccer as center midfield, and in baseball, I either wanted to pitch or catch. I'd leave it there. I know what you're thinking. Knock it off. I know you. Anyway, but I always wanted to, be in the middle of the game and be the reason why. So once I get to football, obviously 59 minutes of the game, I'm standing on the sideline, but I guess this is the one opportunity that I can put exclamation on the game or the icing on the cake or whatever you want to do.
Welcome back to What Are We Watching? Now, before we have done 2 TV shows, today we will do our first movie. Yes, a movie. And no, it's not on Apple TV like the shows. This one's on Netflix. And this one's a second. Not a first, a second. That would be Extraction 2. Chris Hemsworth. He's this cool guy who saves people's lives. And his name is Tyler Rake. Or Taylor Rake, or Tyler Rake. I forget if it's Tyler or Taylor, but I don't forget how electric this movie is. 3 massive battle scenes. They are awesome. Basically, this guy is going to save a family who is held in a jail by a mobster's brother and kind of the other mobster. I forget what the name, Nagazi? Nagazi, sounds right, Nagazi. Yep, that's right. Fantastic film. Now, if you are looking for a good storyline or unbelievable acting or something that you're going to go and tell your mother about, hey, Mom, watch this movie. This isn't it, people, okay? If you're looking for some sweet kills, if you're looking for some electric battles, and if you're looking for Tyler Rake to say, oi, come here, fuck off. Yeah, you get a lot of that. It's awesome. At the end of the first one, I won't say what happens. Just kidding, I will. He dies, falls off of a bridge. Guess what? He doesn't die. They made a second movie, and it's sweet. Now, when it comes to ranking these movies, as you know, you kind of base them on how many wins in an NFL season, how far they would get in the playoffs, what draft pick they will have. Now, this is the first film. It's a Netflix one. I don't want to be too harsh. I'm a guy who likes this type of stuff, so I'm going to make this a 10-win football team, similar to the Patriots' Mac Jones' rookie year. They're not going to win it all, no. But they're going to get to the playoffs, and you're going to finish that movie and say, wow, Tyler Rake is a fucking weapon. And guess what? There's going to be a third one. Can't wait.
We're about to break some news. Ladies and gentlemen, a franchise has called to its fans to find a new logo for their team. Cleveland Browns said we need a new dog logo. We put an elf in the middle of the field, and people had a little bit of a backlash because we have the dog pound. We are dogs. Now we need a new logo. So they said, hey, any fans want to go ahead and draw one? Go ahead. They have 2 finalists, ladies and gentlemen. One fan created, one internally created. Ooh. And it is now time for the Cleveland Browns fans to learn their fate of the next dog logo. Bringing in the box that will obviously tell us what is the winner is Brownie the Elf.
Wow.
Brownie!
Brownie, get here.
Does he talk?
Brownie,
No.
they just staring each other down. I do not believe he speaks. Let's go home.
Stand up, Diggs. Come on.
Rumble, please. Sorry, Brownie.
Wow.
Dog logo. So this is a dog by a dog for the dog.
Hell yeah.
Rated in wheat, Brownie.
Suck it.
Oh, let's go shake their hands.
Oh.
Let's go shake their hands.
Oh!
Truce.
Okay.
Hey, that was fun to see. Good AFC North.
Oh,
Brownie said last word. Brownie, in the elf community, how high are you in the hierarchy of elves at the top?
Not more than Harry Potter.
Whoa. What about the cookie elves? They're pretty.
Whoa!
What does a Brownie the elf eat, if you have to guess?
Poop.
What do you eat? I don't know. What do you do?
Brownies.
What is it?
Did Brownie wear the whole situation all the way here from Cleveland, you think, in the car?
What do you mean this is every day? This ain't
Yeah.
a situation.
Yeah, he wakes up.
He said this is a costume. AJ said this is a costume, potentially, and you're not an actual elf. That's what AJ said.
No, AJ.
No, not me.
AJ's up
AJ
there.
Hawk.
Right there.
That guy.
Right there.
Flip him off, Brownie.
Yeah, let him know.
Come on, tell him.
Oh! Brownie didn't eat. He eats bugs.
Yeah, he picked your bogeys.
Elves love picking bugs.
Yeah, they big. Is that the second favorite thing he eats? I wonder.
Oh yeah, because
bugs.
Brownie's number 1, bugs number 2.
Bugs 2.
Dog poop around the stadium.
3. Yeah.
Dog pound.
Yeah. Yeah. For the dog.
He thought he was getting
Dog pound.
Ladies and gentlemen, okay, here we go.
That's not a free throw,
Right
though.
in front of the free.
Bunnies here, Brownie.
Oh, boy. That's it. You lose.
No.
Stroke.
Oh, the runner.
All right, since he made it on the second one, we'll go 20 people, $500, because Brownie's an absolute baller.
That boy Brownie.
Welcome back to the program. We are now just 69 days away from NFL football kicking off as the Kansas City Chiefs will be having their Super Bowl banner night against the Detroit Lions.
Hell yeah.
This is a reminder now that right now in the description below here at YouTube, there's a link from SeatGeek that'll auto-apply 15% off all NFL tickets.
Let's go.
Now is a good time to start planning ahead to what games you're going to go to. Maybe get a gift for a family member. Maybe get a gift for a friend.
What?
Now is the time, 15% off all NFL tickets from our friends at SeatGeek. SeatGeek, the greatest ticket buying platform on planet Earth and
the moon.
SeatGeek does this cool thing. Not only do they have NFL tickets, they get tickets to fucking everything.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
And the reason why they're the greatest ticket buying app on planet Earth and the moon is because if there was events to be held on the moon, you would want to use SeatGeek because SeatGeek scans the internet to let you know whether or not you're getting fucked on a deal.
Yeah.
Huge.
Red dot means bad deal. You can get this ticket somewhere else, much better. Green dot means, hey, this is a good deal. Yellow means if you need it. It's here.
Yeah.
You'll never get catfish. Shout out to SeatGeek, our first ever partner. We appreciate the hell out of them, and 15% off. Go ahead and enjoy the hell out of an NFL game this upcoming season. You're alive, but are you living? Go live and experience something live with our friends at SeatGeek. Now,
yeah.
there's some shit popping off on the internet from NFL teams' social media. And we all remember the Denver Broncos a year ago with the Let's Ride.
Of course.
All the cuts from behind the scenes that we don't know if Russell Wilson knew was going to be made public.
Yep.
But obviously, once it was made public, the whole world and the public had an opinion about it, and it took over everything. This year, the Denver Broncos social media team said, we're going to one-up this thing. We're going to do some physicality. We're going to get our players really wheeling and dealing. Our players are going to be showcased on social media better than anybody else. This is the new Let's Ride. This is the Let's Climb. Ooh. You can buck them. We will ride them and climb them. Ladies and gentlemen, the Denver Broncos put this onto the internet.
sweetie. Wow, look at her go.
What?
I have no idea.
None of us
What's
know.
the voiceover about?
I assume it's something.
It's
from
from
Kim
Kardashian?
Yeah, it's from Keeping Up with the Kardashians, I believe.
Go, Kylie, go.
Yeah.
Like, I want to know. So the tweet came in from Broncos Avenue, I believe, which I think is a podcast. I don't know if it's associated with the team, but did the team actually put this?
Yeah, where was this recorded?
So he's wearing his uniform.
It's got to be the team. The team had to make this.
Yeah.
The assumption is that it's Mike McGlinchey because he, I believe, is 69. They just got him in free agency.
Yeah, it's like stuff they're going to, for promo videos or maybe on the scoreboard when they run between quarters and all that stuff.
And if you're going to add some animation to this and a different angle, that's cool.
Tell you what, he's a good actor, though. He's acting like it's a tough climb.
Yeah, it's tough to get to the top of the AFC West. I guess you could possibly put the whole thing together, and I'm sure the final product that maybe they'll show on the stadium or whatever is good, but this is another situation of these social media teams making a player look like a fucking asshole.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not that this guy didn't know. Maybe he thought he looked incredible, and we are all kind of forgetting about it. I seen this video floating around the internet a couple times, though, and I just thought to myself, why do the Broncos social media team continue to do what the Broncos social media team doing? Probably because it's such big numbers. They probably took the Let's Ride thing as like a compliment and a good job. You know what I mean? Like, hey, everybody else is trying to emulate what we're doing. It's a good job. When a lot of us were like, why we don't have to do this to do our thing. But Let's Ride did take over.
It did.
It did, and I'm excited to see what this did. So good on him for doing that and creating viral sensation.
Is it possible that he is auditioning for a potential comeback of Global Guts? Looks like he's kind of climbing the aggro crag a little there. I mean, that's a Mickey Mouse aggro crag.
Live action Lion King, potentially?
Could be.
Oh.
That would
Simba's
make more
Rock.
sense.
Yeah. What's his thing? Bakum? Maybe a horse is at the top.
Could be.
Yeah.
Trying to get back to his horse.
Mm-hmm.
I do appreciate how much they've put into this.
Yeah.
That's set.
The lighting.
Set, jeez. Hopefully multiple players get to use this set.
I mean, that'd be a waste if only one, but if they got the shot, they got the shot. Look, he went through some storms there as he hit
Is that
the
a
plateau.
laser tag arena, maybe?
Might be. Why isn't Russell Wilson riding his back?
Exactly.
That'd be cool.
That's a great question, honestly. I don't know why.
But we don't know the final product. We can't really make a determination until we see what this looks like when it's finished.
Yeah, but we can't make a determination about us being sick of seeing behind-the-scenes videos from Denver Broncos shoots and make players look like assholes.
That's fair.
Release the actual thing.
Bingo.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of... But, hey, numbers is numbers. You guys are doing great.
Yeah. Keep it going. Trust the climb.
And shout out to him buying in.
Yeah.
All in.
Yep.
Buying in.
First thing he's doing.
You need to meet a bear crawl up a fake mountain.
You got it.
When you get to the plateau, need you to struggle. We're going to do a light thing like a storm is coming.
Okay.
Yep.
What's Sean Payton saying as soon as he sees that, you think?
What if he's at the top of the mountain?
Standing.
Oh, okay.
Who wants to join the team?
Yeah.
Who's willing to do whatever? Who's ready to fight and claw for every inch that we're going to need to get to the Lombardi?
Hell yeah.
That's right.
What if that's what Sean Payton said? What if he set that entire thing
He
up?
might have.
This might not even be a thing that was supposed to get out to the public. This might be a team building exercise that he started.
Oh, I didn't even think that. Get up to the top, trust fall.
Yep.
Yeah. Into everybody.
So this was just sneakily taken by somebody not associated with the Broncos who didn't know that they're kind of breaking the inner circle here, much like we heard from a faith conversation on a Zoom with a former quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Bingo.
Let's get to the phones. You know what I'm talking about, though.
I don't.
Bam, 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 bam. You twist it.
Yep.
Pull it.
Yep.
Bop it. Bang, 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 bang. Yeah.
Thought we were past that.
Flick it.
Yeah. Well, it should have never been something.
I agree.
Should have never been something.
There's only one person to blame.
And that's what we're talking about whenever we're talking about these types of things. Like the shoots themselves, we're cool with. But the behind the scenes, wanting clout, kind of not even thinking about what somebody potentially looks like on camera, just that they get to be there. These are our dancing monkeys out here. Is my issue.
Probably one of those business people that Stink was talking about that just get to go anywhere.
How about that?
That's wild.
How about that? Now, that started happening, I think, with the Colts there. So as he was saying that, I was like, I just assumed that was the new norm everywhere. Like, hey, everybody in the building gets to eat because there's no job too small. We're all on this thing. And it certainly did ruin, like, the cafeteria experience.
Yeah, for sure.
Nobody's talking shit in the cafeteria anymore whenever there's potentially ticket salesperson right next to it. I like that Sean Payton was like, I don't know what happened in the NFL in the last couple of years of me not being here, but this is not how this
Not
goes.
my NFL.
It's not how
That's probably what he's saying, too, with that video. Like, hey, I spent a year being on social media. I know what hits. This is what we're gonna do.
Oh, you think he's the one that choreographed that time?
Yeah,
There's a chance.
You're gonna climb up here. I'm gonna be at the top, and then we're gonna drop you into everybody else.
Let's go to Ward and Harrisburg on the 5 Energy phone line. We'll take 2-3 calls here as these hot dogs get cooked for Zito to attempt the impossible.
Hell yeah.
Remember, if Zito is able to eat 7.5 hot dogs in 5 minutes, we will give 35 people $500. All you will have to do is retweet the video of Zito eating said hot dogs. I believe this is an impossible task, but I hope he's able to win. He thought 15 was the right number. We shall see, AJ.
15, man. I don't know. Maybe Zeke does it in like 2.5 minutes and he finishes them all.
We have made some compromises,
Yep.
and by that it's because I have little to no faith that he would be able to eat 7.5 hot dogs in 5 minutes. Now, I might be completely wrong. Just feels like the action of getting through those hot dogs would take longer than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So we are doing 2 hot dogs on 3 buns. So that'd be 6 dogs there. Then he has to do 1 dog, 1 bun, and then half dog, half bun. So that'll be the 7.5 hot dogs. He has 5 minutes to take that all down, and he is adding mustard. Feels like that's much more attainable with the 2 dogs, 1 bun. AJ, your thoughts as we're about 5 to 10 minutes away from Zito accomplishing or attempting to accomplish this feat for the United States of America's birthday?
Well, let's say, what if he eats the first one, 2 dogs, 1 bun, boom. And then he says, no, forget this. He jams 4 hot dogs, no bun, shoves that down his mouth, and then he eats the bread later. Is that okay?
Yes,
for sure.
Absolutely
That's a
okay.
good strategy.
Now, I don't know what that's going to do with the mustard.
Yeah.
You know,
mustard's going to be tough there.
Yeah, I don't know when he's going to eat the. Is it just mustard bun?
Yeah,
We can all agree the bread's the hardest part.
And we eliminated 3 of the buns.
How are the dogs prepared? Can I ask?
Jay Curbstreet, who's never done it before, he decided he would be the guy that does it, which we appreciate.
Yep.
And he made it in a little conventional oven over there.
Correct.
Perfect.
Oven?
Yeah.
Conventional.
Baked them? You can just put them in a microwave or boil them.
So the thing about it, to get 8 of them made, it felt like the little
2 racks
was just quick.
Slide them in.
Got it done.
Nice. I trust it.
Yeah, and Urbo said he was watching YouTube videos. I've never done this before.
Check YouTube.
He was watching YouTube videos on how to do it. So.
How to make a hot dog?
Hey, the guy will fucking. Hey, he'll do it.
He will.
He will absolutely do it. See, I think there's too many buns over there. Is that the proper amount of buns there?
Yeah,
8
so
buns.
he hasn't doubled up the dogs.
We'll figure that out. Yeah, let's do 2 phone calls here, and then we'll get into it. And then hopefully we're giving 35 people $500.
Let's go.
Let's go to Kyle in Colorado. What's going on, Kyle?
Pat, boys, happy Feel Good Friday. How we doing?
Hey, great. How are you?
Good, Pat. People have to stop calling every player that gets drafted number 1 overall a generational talent. There's not enough respect on it. Amongst the 4 major sports drafts, NFL, NBA, NHL, MLB, statistically speaking, all of these kids, if not 1 or 2, maybe 3, that are drafted this year will stink. Stat that. This brings me to my question.
Okay.
What year do you think was the most dominant and number 1 overall picks across the board? Just number 1 pick.
1974.
Wow, that draft was a good one.
Yeah.
Loaded.
For example, 93, Drew Bledsoe, Chris Webber, Alexandre, Daigle, Alex Rodriguez. Maybe 2003, Carson
Alexandre
Palmer,
Daigle.
LeBron James, Marc-Andre Lafleur.
Yep.
Who the fuck is that one?
Who is Peyton Manning? When Peyton won number 1 overall, who else was over there?
Yeah. Who was
Peyton
that?
Manning?
Yeah.
97, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Doesn't have that shorthand, it sounds like.
He went in 98 with a bunch of guys you've never even heard of.
Shit.
I don't think anybody was calling Bryce Young generational, in the NFL. But to your point, there is a lot of hope before somebody even gets into the pros. I think Wemby is the one that everybody's just assuming is going to be the game breaker and game changer. I hope he goes on to do it. It'd be good for sport if he was to.
Yeah, this year, actually, if you look at it and like what they say about Bedard, that he's like Crosby, he's the next guy. Wemby, obviously. If Bryce Young, from what they're saying in camp, kind of turns into what he's supposed to be, this super genius football guy, processes everything. I have zero clue who the MLB
And
guy
Skeen.
is. Oh, Skeen.
Paul Skeens or Dylan Cruz.
Yeah.
In reality.
Well, the reality is Paul Skeens is unbelievable.
And what about Cruz?
Well, he's a generational talent. So it kind of depends what your franchise needs more.
Because in this
country, the reality is you probably need a guy like Skeens.
Okay. What about other countries that play baseball?
Yeah.
Well, the reality is you're hoping that you get a guy who can do both, like Shohei Ohtani, who also is a generational talent. So the reality is we really don't know what the correct answer is.
What's your favorite type of music?
Barth Brooks.
Last phone call here. How about Tom Segura?
Oh, man.
Him actually going, there are stats.
Years. This is years in the making. He and his wife have been on the Garth Brooks train.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I know. Once I started getting into the Tom Segura stuff, I would start following. This is years in the making, obviously. But the Where's the Bodies? It's Garth Brooks' people had to be so flustered.
Oh, my God.
Holy shit.
That started. That was like when, pardon my take, with the, hey, JJ.
Yep.
For the JJ Watt stuff, that was like a year and a half, 2 years. Every single time he tweeted. Garth Brooks, the same exact thing.
Oh, and then Garth Brooks, every time someone brings it up to him, just, hey, look at this guy, huh? Watching him blow out his knee and his karma. That's karma.
Last phone call here. Let's go to Clint in Virginia on the 500 phone line. Thank you for calling, Clint.
Segura should be part of the match.
Bingo.
Yes.
Hey, how we doing, boys? Keep it moving, right?
Hell yeah, Clint.
Bam.
Hey, I just want to give a shout out to my boys in the HMD crew, but also I had a question for you, Pat. Like, you do feel the beat for football, right? What about doing like a feel the beat for like MLB and NBA, like getting like Dallas Braden in or something, just to keep you guys more entertained by baseball and basketball?
Love Dallas Braden. That's actually a pretty good call. Thank you, Clint, for doing that. We do maybe
Sean
need
Casey.
the mayor.
Sure.
And then we just have Jet at the end every time.
Tim Kurchin.
That's the problem is feel the beat is typically beat writers. Like,
oh yeah, in there.
You don't want baseball beat writers. Those are like national people that we would be getting.
What about NHL beat writers?
Weeksy.
What about that?
Well, that man's a national reporter. He's not a beat writer.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
So
I didn't know. Whatever. That happened this week.
Yeah.
What a week.
Guy. Ty's got you guys make up, Ty? You good?
Galabrini?
I don't know if we're ever going to be making up.
Yeah, you guys are going to be friends. You guys are going to be friends. You guys are in the same business. He's been in longer. He's welcomed you in his business.
Yep.
Close friends.
He'll show you the ropes.
He will. Very nice of him. The time has come.
Here we go.
I would like to let everybody know that what is about to be attempted is something that, although it certainly was projected by my mouth, not necessarily one that I would like to recommend for anybody.
Okay.
We think you should eat healthy.
Always.
For sure.
We think you should be healthy.
Yep.
But if you are presented in an unattainable goal or an undoable task, I hope everybody does have the same goal that this man had.
That's right.
When he learned of a potential challenge to celebrate the United States of America's birth coming up on Tuesday. This man is Zito. The task that seems impossible is 7.5 hot dogs in 5 minutes. Now, that is Jake Herbstreit. Herbo cooked hot dogs for the first time here just moments ago. He did not get the entire memo, but he did adjust here. Zito will have 2 dogs in 3 different buns. So that'll be 6 of the hot dogs, 3 buns. He will have 1 dog in 1 bun, and then he'll have a half a dog in another half bun. That is 7.5 dogs, 4.5 buns. 5 minutes will be the time that he will have to accomplish this task. Do we have a clock to run in the back there?
Yeah, I'm figuring that out right now.
All right. Yes. As you figure that out, we'll go around the room and get some projections. Zito is topping his dog with mustard. He's from Chicago. I feel like he takes a lot of pride in his dog eating abilities. And I feel like this is going to be something he figures out. Connor, just a quick take on what you think Zito's about to do here in front of all of us.
Yeah, Zito's a gamer. We talked about this yesterday with Mahomes and Kelsey. He's a gamer. He is going to show up when the lights are bright. I think he gets it done with 40, 45 seconds still on the clock.
Okay, so that's one. Yes, he can.
Oh, yeah.
Ty, your quick thoughts.
I don't know about time-wise, but I forgot that these hot dogs are Vienna beef, which Zeke absolutely loves. If we're talking Hebrew National or Ballpark Frank, I don't know if this is going through, but with Vienna beef being the dog of choice, I think Zeke's got it.
Okay, that's 2 yeses that Zeke will get the job done. Tone Diggs.
Yeah, looking at this in front of me, this is a feat that Zeke can do in his sleep.
Okay, that's 3 yeses and quite a bar from Tone Diggs there. AJ Hawk live in an attic in Ohio. What do you think?
I think he does it in 4 minutes flat. I mean, look at him. He looks like a king sitting down at the head of the table for a feast.
Royal Zito getting celebrated in Nashville. That is 4 people saying yes. Billy McComas' head at the bottom of the screen. The clock is... You look great. It's a good look. You look great. 5 minutes right there on the screen will go. Zito, whenever you put that first dog in your mouth, that clock will start. First thoughts as you look at what you actually have to accomplish now as it lays in front of you, Zito?
This is easy. This is going to be a little difficult.
Okay.
I think.
All right, Zito. If Zito's able to accomplish this, 35 people will win $500 going into 4th of July weekend. We will be back on Wednesday. Let's remember that. Zito, the floor is yours, pal.
Here you go, Z.
Out of Chicago, Illinois.
Let's go, Z.
Come on,
Z.
Z. There we go. Clock starts.
Yes.
Let's go.
4:57, Z. Nothing but time.
Plenty of time.
Nothing but time. Zito.
Yeah, like how fast do you go?
No, don't talk.
Pace yourself?
What'd you say, AJ?
I wonder, there's like some strategy. How do you pace yourself? How fast do you go? What are you doing?
See, I'm thinking those first 2 dogs on the bun, I'm trying to get out of there as quick as possible.
Yeah, I agree.
Before my brain tells me, like, a lot of stuff going down my gullet right now. I'm trying to get through it. Ty, is that probably what you're thinking?
Yeah, I think so too. But also, I know how much Zeke loves Vienna beef hot dogs. I want him to at least enjoy the first couple.
Okay, so he's savoring the opportunity right now.
Okay.
Knowing that there has been half a minute already off the clock.
I thought we would be going at a potentially quicker pace.
Yeah, but
that's fine.
When something tastes as good as that tastes.
Yeah, nothing but time. He knows that he's going to close when he needs to. He's just enjoying what he has right now.
Hey, Zito, remember, you're allowed to leave 1/6 of the bun.
Yeah.
You don't have to eat the entirety of the bun.
Boom.
That's about 1/6 right there.
Right there.
Yeah,
That's about there's 2 dogs down.
Down.
2 dogs down for Zito going into this 4th of July weekend. AJ, what are your first reactions here as he swigs on a liquid death water with chipmunk-like cheeks?
I mean,
You're good. You're good.
The pace and the confidence is unbelievable that Zeke is showing right now.
Yeah,
he's not stressed.
We're a minute 20 in, and he's starting on those 3rd and 4th dogs. We thought
there is no urgency here.
Not at all.
Oh, joke now. Come on.
Well, that was kind of a part of the.
Do we want to get a puke bucket, or are we just thinking Bill lick it up if he?
All right, it's 4th of July weekend, Feel Good Friday. Bill will not have to do that, obviously. Bill, I'm happy you could not hear what Nick just said. But remember, Zito at one point when he heard about this challenge said 15 is the amount of dogs he could eat in a 5-minute period.
My eyes might have been bigger than my mouth.
No. It's all right. You still got
Let's do
time.
it. Yeah.
3 minutes, Zito.
You're good.
3
You're
minutes,
good.
Zito.
Big bites. Nice big bites you're taking.
Well, eventually, starting to.
Would you like a cup of water maybe for these last 3 minutes? We are 2 minutes into this thing, and we are nowhere near halfway done, but that does not matter. We got nothing but time.
Yeah, just need to be halfway by 2:30. You got no problem right now.
You're good, Zeke.
How are the hot dogs cooked? How did Herbo do?
A little rough.
A little rough.
Yeah, I figured that might be the case.
Well, he's never done it before. He literally didn't tell us until, what, a minute before it was happening?
Yep. Should have known.
I've never done this before, obviously.
Why don't have Bill do this?
I said, why'd you offer up to do it? You said, I was told to do it. I said, well, why didn't you say, like,
well,
hey,
I don't know how to make a hot dog.
I don't know how to do it.
Herbie also did.
There you go, Herbo, bringing the water in there if you want to do the old dip and rip, like Joey Jaws Chestnut will on the 4th of July. Zito up.
Yep. Boom.
Okay.
All right. That's a 6 of the bun.
That's okay.
That's a 6 of the bun.
Okay.
4 dogs down.
Come on, Z.
2 buns down.
Wish Herbo would have made some for the rest of us.
Zito's got 3.5 dogs left. How do you feel, Zito?
I feel good.
I don't know if we need to do a mid-interview.
Yeah, we shouldn't have talked to him. Should focus.
AJ, how many of these dogs do you think you could suck down your fucking suck hole?
Nice question. I wonder. I really do wonder. I don't know. I really don't.
Minute 50 left.
At least
how many can you do, Pat?
I don't know. I'm looking at that one hot dog at the top of his plate, and I'm thinking to myself, I haven't had a hot dog in a long time.
I'm getting sick.
Are you?
I'm not gonna lie.
I kind of am too.
Yeah.
Oh, I would like to eat that hot dog.
Yes, I am. Yeah.
I might never have a hot dog again.
Herbo! I get a chance to experience what Zeke, he tossed me at French. You're not going to finish anyways, I mean.
Come on, Zeke, keep going.
Great
keep going,
sauce, Zeke. Come on, Zeke. You can do this.
Dip him, Zeke. Dip him.
Little mustard water never hurt anybody.
Dip.
The
worst part.
I might throw up.
Seriously?
Yeah.
This isn't making you want to have hot dogs?
Not even a little.
Really?
Yeah.
Bill, get ready.
No, I'd pull the bill and just throw up into my shirt.
That would be smart. That's a gamer move.
Yeah.
Minute left,
minute,
Zito.
Oh.
Now he knows. He's been fucking with us this whole time.
Here we go, Zeke.
That's
how you close, Zeke. That's how you close.
He's going to eat 1.5 in 3 seconds here and win.
Oh, it has to be
40 seconds, Zeke.
Water.
It just has to be in your mouth, right?
35 people, $500.
No, because they have
You got dunked in the last couple.
Don't they give them time to chew?
No, they have to stick their tongue out and show that they're done.
Hey, listen, if he gets those in his gullet in the next 30.
Come on, Zeke. That's what?
You got it.
I think Zeke's hurting a bit.
He said 15.
I love it. I love it.
He'd be disappointed if he couldn't get 15.
There we go.
You got 15 seconds.
Yeah. Hey, 6.5, also a feat.
Well,
Jam those things right down your throat.
These were cooked like shit too, which
Yeah.
that actually wasn't that bad.
Oh, okay. Chewing
on a dog toy.
It was a little tough. I mean, it was a little gritty, but it didn't taste that bad.
There you go.
Hot dogs come already cooked. All you got to do is heat them up.
All right,
That was a
Jam.
big
Go
old
ahead,
bite.
Jam.
Got a baby, Zeke.
Go ahead, Jam. For the good of America.
Oh, my goodness.
Happy birthday, America. Nobody wins.
That's right.
Nope.
We wanted to.
Times.
You just
He's going
enjoy
to finish that
one.
last one.
Hey, you earned that one.
Enjoy that dessert. Enjoy it.
He said 15 dogs
Yeah, he
when we
did.
asked him.
He'd be disappointed if he didn't get 15.
His guy Banda right now, who says when he's at work, he'll just kind of tune in every once in a while.
Yeah.
He'll see Jose, and he'll say, "Oh, that a baby Jose," and then he'll just kind of tune out. I hope Banda and Danny and Nico and the boys all tuned in for that. And I don't know if they'll be disappointed, embarrassed, or impressed. I'd like to let you know, pretty impressive feat. You just took down
Yeah, that was unbelievable.
6 dogs in 5 minutes, which is more than I thought. I thought 5. And everybody was looking at me like I was a fucking crazy person. Bruce wanted 10, wanted Zito to die here in the moment. 7.5, seemingly not the right number. 6.5, probably the right number.
Yeah, 6.5 was the one.
Hey, you did good, Zito.
I'm going to finish this one.
I'm going to throw up.
Hell yeah, before 4th of July.
I'm like sweating. I'm lightheaded right now.
Why? What
I
happened?
think it's the smell while watching it happen.
The smell of what?
The smell of the dog.
chewing?
Of mustard?
I can't.
I cannot smell the dog. You can smell the dog.
I can smell the dogs. I was smelling them when they were
So
getting cooked.
you don't like hot dogs?
I don't mind hot dogs, but I don't like them anymore.
All right, Zito. If I make this, I'm not going to. I forgot what I did this morning.
Oh, yeah, you're swinging.
Yeah, just times it by 2. Just put 2x, maybe a little jump.
Skyhook.
Skyhook.
From lifting or swinging a golf club?
I'm boxing motherfuckers again.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah. Pretty real deal.
Yeah, plural.
Five guys.
Virtual reality headset, you mean? By real deal.
Yeah, that's
Still boxing.
Yeah.
My hand got raised by the ref.
I'm saying, believe me, great workout. I agree.
I actually left the ring before they could raise my hand every single time because I was too tired to do that. So I just said I'm out of here.
Still won.
I didn't even get a chance to take in the applause. It's not about the applause from the arena.
Yeah, you didn't want to showboat.
It's not about the fans. It's about me knocking out fucking Spider from Taiwan or Thailand. I forget where he's from.
Yeah.
He's 6'9".
What?
6'9".
Big
I
son
fought a
of a bitch.
6'9" guy this morning.
That's Kendrick Perkins.
I was doing this one right here. I was doing the fucking overhead.
Windmill.
Right to his jaw. Shoulders tight, arms are tight. For Zito!
Wow. Don't matter.
35 people, $500. All you gotta do is retweet this video, say something nice to somebody, and put the most efficient way to pay you so that we can do that. We are so incredibly thankful we get to do this for a living. For this 4th of July extended weekend, we hope that we all get a chance to kind of look inward, look backwards, and then obviously look forward to what is to come, where we will all live, hopefully in a place that we all dream of. We are very lucky to be Americans. We feel that way. Obviously, not everything's perfect, but it will only get better because all of us would like it to. There's always going to be assholes. There has been for a long, long time. We can't let them distract us. Let's keep going forward. Let's enjoy the hell of this weekend. AJ, great work this week, AJ. Toxic Table, great work this week, boys.
Hey, thank you.
Hey, that mullet needs enjoyed this Independence Day.
Yeah.
Big thank you to Tongue Diggs on this week. Hammer Dahn, quite a wave. Zito, great work on those dogs.
Baby Z.
Boys in the back, great work. To everybody that stopped by and gave us conversation, we can't thank you enough. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice, might change their life. Have an incredible weekend. Goodbye.